It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty, back at it. Good to have you aboard, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Loose Cannon. All set to start the sports week with you.
Let's go, baby.
Matty, I do want to get to your little weekend sojourn to Nap City over there.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to have plenty of time for that. I want to give it its just due.
Okay, I appreciate that.
But I just heard Baker say something on the end of Bishop and Friends. It was quite alarming to me. I caught wind of this, but I didn't know the exact details of it because I wasn't playing in his group. Let me give you this first. I do think that here at the Fan, they must make a list, and the headline must say, pay no mind, all right? And then there's a ranking, and then I think I've elevated myself to number one on the pay no mind list.
What happened?
I get a call on Saturday night? Friday night?
I'm guessing it was Friday
night.
night.
Friday night. I'm losing track of the weekend. It's a blur. Friday, I get a call from Scottie Vegas. I don't know, maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And he's like, hey, you got to come play golf in this event tomorrow with me. And I go, listen, it's going to be 40-mile-an-hour winds on Saturday. I have no interest in playing golf on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be really bad. He's like, no, it'll be great. Tough conditions. Challenge yourself. British Open. Here we go.
Challenge.
And then he's like, I'm like, well, what is it? He's like, well, we're going down to play Raymond Memorial. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't played Raymond Memorial in 20 years. Kelly Trent, outstanding out there. And haven't seen her in a long time, although she wasn't there when I got there because she had gone. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'll go. What is it? And he goes, well, Fidoff has this thing where he gets a bunch of his cronies together to play in this, like what they're calling their own little major tour. I guess the
Columbus Majors.
Yes. You act like it's sanctioned and people should know about this.
That's what they call it.
Galleries. So he gets how many people, Bake?
There's usually about four foursomes, maybe 5.
All right, so 16 guys. And so I'm going to be in this. And Scott says, there's skins. You'll pay into it. There's an event. It's full handicap. So they'll have a leaderboard and all this stuff.
Oh, so this is official.
Well, yeah, but maybe some guys will be wearing denim, so I'm not really sure how official it is.
Baker's probably one of those guys.
And so it'd be like T-shirts and denim, right?
Caps and sleeves.
Yeah, that's right. Tank tops and Timberlands. That's what it should be called. And so, anyway, so I get there, and now I'm kind of excited to play. It's windy, but I'm excited to play. We're teeing off late, about 2 o'clock. And so we come out, and I get to the first tee, and basically I get this, what are you doing here? Out of Fidoff. And Scott's like, I told you he was coming. He said, no, you told me you were asking your neighbor, and I told you he could just play along as just a round out the field guy.
Okay.
Not in the event.
Yeah.
So now they're all in the event, and I'm just playing golf all of a sudden. So I'm now kind of just this, we needed an extra warm body. And now I find out, I think Scottie probably asked 4 or 5 of his neighbors. They all said no before he got to me, I'm thinking, which is fine. I love playing with Scottie, but I was not the first choice. I find that out.
That's tough.
And then I'm not even in the event because Fidoff can't somehow add me to the app, which is weird. Why couldn't you just add me to this Birdies app or whatever and put me in there?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's just play golf. Then I find out Baker, on I don't know what hole it was, he had a pretty good shot. He was in the trees. He had to navigate the jungle, and he hit one, and he skied the trees. And I'm thinking, oh, he's having a good day. Big fella's out there thrashing away. And he looks at me, and he gives me kind of what I would call the Furio. Stupid a blanking game, right? Just gives me this is a stupid game. I could tell. Guy's a little red-faced. He's not having a great day. This is on the front 9. And then I find out that he left after 9 holes. Told the guy he's playing with, hey, it's been fun. I'm out of here.
Gone.
And I'm thinking, Who does this?
Wait, so you bounced after the
bounced.
front nine?
I left.
Because you were waving the white flag because you weren't playing well?
So I was not playing well, but there was like a series of things that happened that just made it ridiculous.
Ryan
for
Baker,
me,
I did not take you as a quitter.
I don't think
that hurts me.
This is not quitting to me. This is self-awareness. And I knew that I was at my point of my anger going too far.
Oh.
And I'm not out there to be angry or frustrated. I'm out there to drink some swing lube and have a good time.
Okay.
Why
And
wasn't that happening?
I was, but I was not having a good time just because, and the company was great. My guys were great. I told them, sorry, I'm having a good time. With you guys, I'm just really frustrated. I need to go.
But you said there were some other things besides the golf?
Well, so like hole 6, the par 5 that has the houses on the right, AR. I hit a drive. It was a little left. It wasn't bad, but that's the play on that hole, is you go a little left. And we couldn't find this ball anywhere.
Are you talking about the one where I saw you, where you were in the trees, hitting back up to the green?
I don't remember.
That par 5 that has that trench that runs diagonal?
Yeah. So we can't find my drive. So I have to take a stroke and
You
hit
probably
up.
hit it in the trench.
No, it wasn't. It was over the trench and it was left. But so then I'm like, okay, I'm not playing well. I'm a little frustrated. So I'm like, I'm going to be aggressive. So the next hole was a par 4. I stripe a drive. Like, I was actually hitting my drive really well. Nothing else was good. So then we go to my partner's ball, and we find my ball from the previous hole. And now I'm like, how the heck did we not have this? Like this, then I'm really frustrated. So my next shot, I hit it a little fat and short. It goes into the bunker. It's in like a hole in the bunker. And, of course, I thin it. It goes over the green. Then I'm plunking through the trees. I was in perfect position, end up having a bad hole. Then the par 3, hit it pin high, but I'm a little left. No big deal.
We're going to go through your whole round, aren't we?
I chip it up to about 5 feet. And literally, AR, I hit the putt. It lips, and a wind gust comes. I am not kidding you. And it blows the ball 5-6 feet down the hole. So, missed my chance at par. And then on hole 9, I hit a drive around. It's like drawing around the trees. Hits one branch and knocks it down. And I was just done. I started putting head covers on at that point, taking things out of my pocket that I have for golf, putting things in my pocket to go home, and I was out.
So what you are the Vontae Davis of golf. How he retired at halftime, you just quit halfway through. That's what you are. That's disappointing. You're better than that.
Listen,
Yeah, I mean, we're all not pro. Nobody goes out there to think they're going to shoot a career best every time.
I do not love it like you guys to be out there and be angry or frustrated at all.
Well, we're always frustrated.
It was really
Everybody gets
bad.
frustrated.
It was really bad.
Have you snapped a golf club before on the course? Are you that guy? Thrown a golf club?
I've thrown golf clubs.
Okay.
I have bent one on accident. I've bent one before, hitting it against a golf cart.
Yeah.
Never broke one, though.
Okay.
Have you ever hit yourself with a golf club? You're going that far.
So what did you do? Did you go to the
stupido?
Did you go to the clubhouse and just go straight to the bar? Like
No, he
what was
went home.
You went home.
You
I
went to
just
the
went
car,
home.
Maddie.
I was like, see you later.
I thought he was just like, hey,
I
I'll
get
be in
to,
the
like-
clubhouse waiting for you guys to
I get
party
to
after.
hole like 12 or 13, maybe somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And I get the Baker's going.
He gone.
He left.
You guys were on the 10th green when I was leaving, and I almost honked the horn at you guys just to say bye.
By the way,
Yeah, why not do that to us?
I'm calling BS on Tito not being able to add you to this grouping here because what I think happened is that Tito saw my man AR strutting up to that course, and he was like, "Oh no,
No. I mean, they had
I'm
some
in
really
trouble.
good players.
The big dog is here."
No.
I'm going to stick up for Tito on this. I'm going to put all of this blame on Scottie because technically, Maddie, in the app, the tournament had started by the time Tito had seen AR. Our first group had already gone off.
That's true, but I
And
haven't
don't-
played anything.
But I don't believe you can add people to the tournament in the app once it's started.
Boo. It's such a serious tournament.
This is all
Why
Scottie's
would we
fault.
have
He
to
said,
add it?
he said
Yes.
it's majors.
Yes, the majors.
Columbus majors.
It's not my app.
This was a clown show when you think about that.
Well,
I love all
Tito's
these guys,
involved, of
but I
course it's
mean,
a
it
clown
was an
show.
like I'm out there, Maddie, in 40-mile-an-hour winds. Scottie drags me to the course, and then I find out that I'm not in it, and he's leaving halfway
That's
through, and
brutal.
I can't even get in it.
That's brutal. You
Unbelievable.
deserve so much better
Then
than
I
that.
get a text from Tito later. Hey, the next event is June.
No, I'm good.
And I'm like, hey, I can't. It's Flag Day. Sorry, I won't be there. I'm a little busy.
Kick rocks, Tito. We love you, Tito.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
You should have your own tournament the same day, AR.
Yes, yes, we should have competing majors.
You should.
See if I can lure some of his guys to my tournament, except I won't be paying them anything.
I'm sure you can get Scottie.
You thought you were frustrated? I mean, Dave there's a guy named Dave in my group. I didn't know him before. He took like 8 or 9 hacks in a bunker, and he kept finishing his round.
Yeah.
Listen, good for him.
Where's the mental toughness, Ryan Baker? Where's that at?
I just know my point with golf, where I want to be, and it's not worth that frustration.
Okay.
Maddie, if we ever play together and I'm having an awful day, and I say to you, have fun, I'm out of here, you have permission to never speak to me again, never play with me again.
We'll take a sandwich to your kneecaps.
Now, would you have done this if it wasn't an event and you were just playing with a buddy? You couldn't have just blown out of there if you're playing with one other guy.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
Would you have?
I mean, we may have talked to him. I'd been like, hey, come on, let's go to the bar. I'm done with
so you would have dragged him out of
maybe
there.
I'll make him
What if
leave.
he's playing great? All right, Bake. That's a great story.
I'll just ride in a cart with him then.
Oh, we love you, Bake.
You know, you could have just done that. Why wouldn't you say, hey, I'm done. I'm going to pick up, but I'm going to ride along.
It was a big sports weekend, man. You had Game 7s. You had the Preakness.
True.
I mean,
that was later. Yeah. All right.
I'll buy that.
Great story, Bake. All right. There he is. Ryan Baker.
Blowing doors. I'm out.
9-hole Bake.
I'm good.
The 9-hole shuffle.
Not my day.
I'm out. Just packing up his stuff.
Oh,
Most people, when they're frustrated, you just, hey, pick it up, go to the next hole, take max. Mm-hmm. I'm out of the tournament. I'm out of the contest.
Baker's like, I'm going home.
I'm going home. Yeah, I get to like hole 13 and like, hey, left. I'm like, oh, I bet his hip was bothering him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, he's just fine.
Just done.
Yep, just done. Stupid a blanket game. All right, we got a lot to do, Maddie.
Yeah.
We got Party Like a Rock Star this hour. We're going to do a little Browns film breakdown with our boy Jake Burns coming up at 1:30. We'll dig in on that Purdy contract. Is he worth it? But up next, what are the Buckeyes in for when facing Arch Manning? Their first opponent right out of the gate. We've got an expert breakdown on him. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Summer is officially here, and that means rising temperatures. You're going to be thinking about how you can keep cool all summer long. What's the best plan here? Well, one of the ways you can beat the heat and keep the air conditioning you're paying for in your home is to get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. And now's a great time to do it. They've got a semi-annual sale where you buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows for free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a whole house full of windows. No money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027. It's a deal that can't be beat. You're getting a great deal from Window Nation because they are high-efficiency windows that are also very affordable. They do that by working directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. But don't wait on that semi-annual sale. You buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows free. Free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. You've got to schedule your estimate today. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Check out this fresh deal on General Mills Giant Size Cereal. Select 20 to 29-ounce varieties or 3 for only $10 when you buy 3 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Two men, one is very white, fat, and bald. The other is not very white at all. Delightfully husky and getting bald. They have a radio show. It's good. T-Bone and Titus.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt...
just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hope you didn't forget your sunglasses today. A mostly sunny day ahead with afternoon highs getting up into the low 70s. And then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows in the upper 40s. For Tuesday, rain returns to the forecast with a chance of thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Afternoon highs on Tuesday will be in the mid to upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Miss a minute of Rothman and Ice? Check out the podcast.
Type in Rothman and Ice wherever you get your podcasts. Download and subscribe.
Back to Rothman and Ice.
Indeed you are.
I'll be talking to some fellas right now because, listen, guys, I hear you. I hear you talking to me. I get emails every once in a while and say, Maddie, I'm not feeling like myself. Some common frustrations I hear is I'm sluggish, tired more often, going to the gym. I don't have that energy I used to have. Listen, low energy and performance issues are not inevitable. And that's why at the Columbus Men's Clinic, they will take care of you. No gimmicks, no online quick fixes that just leave you frustrated. Look, online pills are way too expensive and generic to just not work. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, their medical providers build a plan around you, your body, your goals, and what it takes to get you back to feeling like yourself again. Testosterone, ED treatments, stuff most guys don't even know exist, and trust me, it works. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation, including blood work, is just $99, and they will help find a plan that works with your budget. Don't procrastinate on this. Get on it right away. Call them soon. Again, it's 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com.
Knee-jerk reaction. Will Ohio State be a home underdog against Texas?
No.
TLC?
No.
They are currently.
Oh, is it? Let me guess. Let me try to guess. Texas is favored by 3.5.
It's under that. It's 2.5.
Okay.
And so I don't know where this will end up. And this may be. I'm just looking at look-ahead lines the best I can. I don't really know if this will exactly be this way, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were, if this was a pick'em. I think that's more likely to me, that money might come in on Ohio State and send that to a pick'em. We'll see. But one guy, Todd McShay, who studies these guys a lot, has studied Arch Manning's tape, and he does say, believe the hype.
At this point, we're just trying to lay a foundation on Arch Manning, right? What did we see last season? Early on, I saw a quarterback, a lot of talent, it's obvious, but wasn't quite ready. And understandably so, he's young. But with some of that inexperience, right, there's flickers of this brilliance. And I love you, Peyton. I love you, Eli. But he does some stuff on tape the uncles can't do. Then again, it's kind of a roller coaster ride early on in the season. He's playing a little bit more Colorado State, and then it was UTSA, finishes out that game, then he's a starter for 2 more games. I think from this point on, and we're talking about 2 or so games in, I started to see a different Arch, more confident, more decisive. Like the talent is all there. He's big.
He is, I think, the part. I think he said it exactly right. There's no reason to think he's not talented or that he's being overhyped. I think he may be hyped too soon before we know his full development. Peyton and Eli played 4 seasons in college. They developed. The Mannings like to do it that way. They like to develop as much as they can so they can be, quote, NFL ready. They're not a family that needs to, quote, jump for the money. And now those guys didn't have NIL, but they probably had something, but they didn't have NIL. And so Archie certainly doesn't need to make this, Matty, happen before it needs to happen.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's a good player. I don't know right now if he's an absolute dude, but we shall see. And that's what this year is going to be all about for Arch Manning. And we'll get the first look at him in week number 1. And I cannot wait for it to get here. He's got a few starts under his belt. He's got 3 starts right now since he's been in college. Those starts are against average to bad competition. It's UTSA, it's Mississippi State, and it's Louisiana Monroe. And so there's some good in there, though. When you look at his skill set, it's something that is dangerous, especially in this era of football to where you have more and more quarterbacks presenting that dual threat ability. He absolutely brings that to the table. And he's got, last year over his time at Texas when he has played, he's got 4 rushing touchdowns on just 21 attempts. So it's something you got to worry about. I know Matt Patricia, Coach Day, and the gang are going to do everything they can to get their defense focused on that and bottling him up, because he is that quarterback to where you can have good coverage on the back end, but if he breaks loose, he will hurt you, and he's got some wiggle. He's got some long speed to his game as well, with a 67-yard touchdown that he had a season ago. And so, this is a guy to where he's being crowned right now as the guy. He was crowned as that guy coming out of high school, the top overall recruit in the 2023 class. He's partnered with a offensive-minded head coach in Steve Sarkisian, who's recruited well and done a good job of bringing life back to that Texas program. But Ohio State, the narrative around them is they lost a lot, and rightfully so. But on the offensive side of the ball, the same thing can be said for Texas, because on that O-line, they're replacing 4 starters. Their top 3 pass catchers are gone to the NFL, and Matthew Golden, Gunnar Helm, and Isaiah Bond. And so we know that Texas recruits at a high level like Ohio State, but the vibes that I'm going to have for Ohio State early on is, okay, let's wait and see how they replace a lot of veteran talent. The same thing's going to be said for Arch, and we'll see if he can elevate some new starters around him. But, there's no doubt, AR, when you watch him play, there are things to like. I'm just not leaping right now towards the front end of this line like a lot of people are and crowning him as the no doubt number 1 overall pick. I don't see that just yet, but maybe I'll be proven wrong.
Well, you might have to wait till, I don't know when. When would he come out? And
he may not come out because he's got a couple years left of eligibility.
I don't know if he'll come out for 26. Yeah. So there's no reason to try to judge him as being the top pick. Now, if he's the overall consensus top pick, maybe he will be tempted to come out. But he's got to be ready. I agree with you. The sample size is way too small. That's not to say that he can't be what they say he's going to be. There's just no way for anybody to truly know until he starts facing top competition week in, week out. Yeah. You can't just handpick this thing. And when he looked at it, there were like 56 plays that McShay looked at. You know who they were against? Colorado State, UTSA, ULM, and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Like San Antonio and Louisiana Monroe, like we cannot look at that. Now, 14 plays came against. So of the 70 key plays that he looked at, 56, like I said, were against those teams, which you almost could, I'm not saying you throw them out, but you have to kind of take them for what they're worth. And then 14 of the 70 were against Georgia, Florida, A&M, Clemson, and Ohio State. And so, and even of those key plays, are they really key plays? And what did he do? Did he just run the football?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We can check off speed, elusiveness, physicality. You can go through all of that. But the sample size is way too small. And so what he was looking at, which I thought McShay did a really good job, is he was looking for improvement, play-to-play basis. Because I think what's going to be interesting for a guy like Arch Manning, and this is probably for anybody with serious talent, is that you struggle with being perfect. You struggle with not wanting to make a mistake because you're a quarterback. Most coaches just hammer you with, look what Ryan Day's favorite phrase, routine play routinely. That doesn't mean he doesn't want his quarterback to make a studly play, which Will Howard has done and did in the playoff run. But most quarterbacks or most coaches that I've talked to feel like more games are lost than won. And if your quarterback is doing stupid things, it's going to cost you big time. And I wonder if Arch Manning, of all players, has so much to live up to, even more than Shedeur in a way, because his uncles are quarterbacks. Shedeur's dad wasn't a quarterback. So he has to live up to the name of Deion Sanders for sure. He's fighting that. But think about what Arch Manning's... You heard him in that first thing. Oh, he's even doing things better than Peyton and Eli. Wow. A guy that's going to be probably a Hall... Both are going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Because it jumps off the screen because Peyton and Eli look like they're running in quicksand. Eli's got some juice to his legs, but I think that's actually an advantage for him as well, is the things that he has learned from Eli and Peyton from the neck up. I think that has a chance to have him hit the ground running, is that he's learned so much and probably sat back and, whatever, Peyton's house, Eli's house, and broke down film with those guys, that he sees the game differently, I think, than a lot of young quarterbacks, which I do really think is an advantage for him, or can be an advantage for him right out of the gate. So they'll come into Columbus, and then after that, they'll play San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston. He'll rack up some really good stats there. You go down to Florida on October 4th, and then they play Oklahoma after that. That's when things will start to crank up for him. But the big one outside of the Ohio State game for Texas will be at Georgia on November 15th. By that time, we will know what Arch Manning is, but that game could be for the number one seed in the SEC and all that type of stuff on down the line. But the game here at the Shoe, both quarterbacks that we see, whether it's Lincoln Keno's, Julian Sand, and obviously Arch Manning on the other side, there's going to be some inexperience down there, and I won't be surprised if we see mistakes from those guys early on, because they're going to be going up against some really good talent on both sides of the ball.
Great environment.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
A lot of pressure for each guy. Hostile for Arch. Pressurized for whoever's quarterback in Ohio State.
No doubt.
So we'll have that kind of equal feel to it. And the other thing is, Peyton and Eli, Eli was kind of trying to live up to Peyton a little bit, but their dad, unfortunately for him, was so good, but on crappy team, in 70s and 80s. And so I don't know. They really didn't have to live up to their dad the way he'll have to live up to his uncles. It just has a much different level for me. All right, speaking of quarterbacks, we'll come back in 2 minutes. Brock Purdy, signed and sealed, but has a stipulation in his deal that provides him plenty of security. We'll tell you what that is in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139. Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with ONE+, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
Shout out to our boy TLC here. He's playing injured today. That little virus that he said he was going to show that virus who's boss.
Yeah, how's that working?
On Friday night?
How's that working, TLC?
Virus winning.
Yeah.
On the in the live betting on Bet365, you are a heavy underdog going into the weekend, and the value was not realized.
I know, and my voice sounded so good. It sounded so good.
Maybe that's
Friday.
when you said it. That's when I realized that you jinxed it.
When I said that getting under the weather is good for your career in this business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoking, too. You said that.
Hey, back in the day, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Still pictures on the internet. When I was looking at Myron Cope.
The Steelers.
Just sitting there with a cigarette. Exactly.
Yeah.
I looked him up. All the pictures are him and smoking cigarettes in the studio.
Yeah. Dude's playing hurt. He's got the hoodie up today. Still got the hair out. He may have the best head of hair at the station.
It just hit me.
Oh, hey.
He may have that.
Hang on, it just hit me.
Yeah.
Adam King just crashed his car.
It just hit me who he is. This happens to me all the time. And I need to look up his name because I can see him, but it's escaping me. But I'm going to get it somehow this segment.
So are you about to hit him with another nickname?
Yeah.
We've already got like 3.
I know.
Out of the gate already.
I started him with baby Chet because he was Chet Holmgren, and then it went to the loose cannon, which isn't anybody in particular. But as he's talking now,
yeah, what do you say?
And as I can't think of his name, I'm gonna get it.
Or let him marinate.
It'll
pop up.
I know exactly. Do you know who you're pretty good at this? Who am I thinking of? You need to help me help you. There's a singer, rapper, somebody that you just sounded like when you got on the
Jack
mic.
Harlow?
Yes.
Oh, I've gotten
Jack Harlow.
I have gotten
That's who he is.
I have gotten Jack Harlow before.
Let me write this one down.
Because I got curly hair.
Not just that. It's the hood up and the voice. It's the whole vibe going on right now.
Little Jack Harlow.
It hit me, and I should not be the one that should hit like that. But
Why
you
not?
have
Actually,
because I don't really know the guy. I don't know anything about his music or anything.
Out of the 3 of us, to be the first one to mention that I resemble Jack Harlow at all, it was you.
How often have you gotten that?
That was one at the Comedy Club in St. Louis that I got a decent amount. But that was just like white boy with curly hair. Actually, the nickname that I got a lot at the Comedy Club in St. Louis was John B. And I did not know who that was.
John B.
I don't know who that is either.
John B. Can I Google him at work? Is that safe?
Yeah. No. He's an R&B singer. I didn't get the reference.
He's an adult film star.
Yeah.
He gets that all the time.
He's a DJ?
I don't know. He's like an R&B singer from the early 2000s or something like that.
Okay.
It's Harlow.
I'm
long
hearing
shot.
it and I'm seeing it.
As soon as you started talking, because I wouldn't have known it just by the look.
Yeah.
Does he sound like this?
Yeah. No, the first thing you said today was something, when I was talking about the virus, you were like, yeah, on Friday when I said that, like, it hit me.
Mm.
I mean, I've seen him host like SNL. Like, I've seen enough to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He's Jack Harlow. I don't think there's any real nickname there, but it's there. We've got Brock Purdy in the 50 million plus club.
How's that land over there for you?
Lands great for him. It lands meh for me. Now, I'm going to say this because there are a lot of dudes making a lot of money that don't have a Super Bowl either.
That's usually your bar.
And so now he's not in the neighborhood of Lamar and Josh. We know that. But it just hit me that if you went through all the 50 million club, where's the Super Bowls? Lamar, no. Josh Allen, no.
Jalen's got it.
Burrow,
right?
No. Dak, no. Goff, no. Jordan Love, no. Trevor Lawrence, no.
Isn't Jalen Hurts in there, or am I making that up?
Well, he will be. Yeah, I'll get to him.
Okay.
Herbert, no. Tua, no. Let's see. Jalen Hurts, yes, now. And
that's it.
Mm-hmm. So I just, because when I knew we were going to talk about this, I thought, I wonder how many of the 50 million club has a Lombardi. And guess what? It's one.
Only one of them.
So why should I sit here and say, now I can tell you right now, I don't think he's worth it because I compare him to those other guys.
Yeah.
But some of those guys, he may be better than right now. He may be more accomplished than Tua.
He is. There's no doubt about that.
So he may not be as talented as Trevor Lawrence, but he certainly is accomplished.
No question.
And I wonder if we're looking at him in a weird way because of where he got drafted. Because let's say Brock Purdy would have been drafted early second round. Like, let's say Dak's spot, and he gets this contract. Am I being blinded by his worth? Yes. Rolled up like a deuce, the ruler of the night.
Yeah.
If he was drafted in the second round, so I'm asking you, am I being blinded by was he Mr. Irrelevant?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Am I being blinded by that? How could it possibly be that he could be worth this money where he was picked and then not have a Super Bowl?
I think it could be two things for you, AR. I think it could be that, and also you looking at how loaded the 49ers offense has been around him and maybe leaning a little bit into, well, that supporting cast has been absolutely incredible, maybe the best supporting cast in the NFL the last few years. And I think that's a factor for a lot of people when you look at who Brock Purdy is, because he's being tabbed as the highest paid game manager the sport has ever seen after this. The story is awesome. It really is. Because you mentioned Mr. Irrelevant, what it took for him to get the starting job with a couple quarterbacks going down at the time with Trey Lance and Jimmy G. But credit to him, because I think what the Niners are looking at is, well, one, my big question with this stuff, because I agree with you. I don't know if he's worth $50+ million. I don't see that. But I always ask, if you're not paying him, who else are you going to get? And I think the Niners are looking around and saying, since he's been our guy, we've gone to the NFC title game twice, and we've made a Super Bowl appearance once with him under center. And so when you have that guy in your own building, you're not going to push him out of the building, or I don't think you're going to try to shortchange him either, because this is just what the position requires now. There's a lot of guys, I think, and you just rolled through a bunch of them, that people really don't believe they're worth that money. But when you have that guy in your building, you have no choice but to pay him. And so what the Niners are banking on is that, because we're really going to find out what Brock Purdy's all about now, because we've seen this happen before. When you sign quarterbacks to this type of money, it's the give and take. You're paying a guy who you believe in at the most important position, but sometimes it has a domino effect in who you can and cannot keep. And so they've had an aging roster. I know some people think they really took a massive step back, but over the next couple of years, we're going to find out if Brock Purdy is an aircraft carrier. And I think John Lynch is looking at not only Brock Purdy and his talent and clearly believing in that with the money that they paid this dude, but I think Kyle Shanahan's playing a major factor in this decision as well. Because Kyle Shanahan has been one of those head
Purdy
coaches.
saved his job.
It could be that. But Kyle Shanahan, AR, some people believe he's one of the best offensive minds in the league. So you're John Lynch, your ownership in San Francisco, and that's what you're banking on, is that our head coach is the perfect guy for this situation, and that his offensive system will have Brock Purdy looking good year in and year out. So obviously they have to draft and develop well, but what they really need this year and maybe even next year is when you have this Kittle, Ayuk, Trent Williams, CMC mixture of Avengers, if you will, because that's what a lot of people call them out there in San Francisco, is that you have to cash in now, because I don't know if they don't get one over the next couple of years that Brock Purdy is going to drag them to a Super Bowl. I don't see him as that type of guy.
Here's the stipulation, which is great for him. So as part of this $265 million extension, he got a full no-trade clause.
Yeah, that's wild.
That means he's getting the security and control over his future, which everyone would love. And not only is he getting the massive pay bump, now he has full control. So if the Niners get to a point where they want to trade him, he's got the decision-making power over his next destination, which everyone would love to have. So Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, just got $50+ million a year and gets to approve where he is sent if he doesn't live up to this contract. That's not a bad deal for a guy that was picked where he was.
Over the first 3 seasons of his career in the National Football League, he made $2.6 million. He is now making, no matter what, $181 million in overall guaranteed money, with the chance for that to get up to over $265 million.
It's a weird. I love his story. I really do. But you can't tell me that you could feel that comfortable with paying him this amount of money, thinking that he can, like you say, deliver you to at least another Super Bowl appearance. Niners have been historically a great organization. My guess is that they will get it right somehow. They have a very good coach, I believe, and they just have that historical pedigree where they feel like they can get this done. They lucked into this. They feel really good about it. And maybe I shouldn't say luck. Somebody had to pick him. They used their last pick on him.
They got lucky.
But they did.
They got lucky.
And he made, and to his credit, that's why I love his story, that he was able to play well enough at the right time. You know, this life is timing, but it's also talent. You can't be timing alone. He had to be good. He also had to be on the right team with the right coach at the right time. And now they're trying to make up for the wrongs of their past, which is the whole Trey Lance thing, and they feel like they can sleep at night, and they've got the money to spend. I think the moral of this story is there is crazy amount of money to burn in the NFL.
That's insane.
Absolutely insanity. That you could tell me that this guy's worth $53 million a year. I guess you put the right things around him. Great defense, complimentary football, CMC, guys like that, you can win with him.
And every quarterback needs that. But I think when you talk about guys like a Josh Allen, you talk about guys like a Lamar Jackson, their individual traits and their God-given skills, they just jump off the screen different when it comes to rather than when it comes to a guy like Brock Purdy. We all see it with our eyes, but that's not to say that you can't get it done with a guy like this. It just feels like with dudes like Purdy, it's going to take more for him to get to a certain level than it would other guys when they can put on the cape and just do superhero things. And it doesn't feel like Brock Purdy is capable of doing those things.
He was an alum of Party Like a Rothstar. And we'll do that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Summer's just around the corner. Are you ready to hit the road in style? At Germain Toyota, the adventure starts now with the 2025 Toyota Tundra. Rugged, reliable, and built to take on anything summer throws your way. Drive off in a new Tundra with 1.99 APR for 48 months. That's right, low financing, high performance, and a season full of possibilities. Hurry into Germain Toyota. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net. 1.99 APR for 48 months with approved credit. See dealer for details.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Over the weekend, you went into your closet trying on shorts from last year. They were all too tight, so you searched deeper in the closet, looking through shorts you stashed away from thinner years. Maybe a big pair had gotten lost in the mix. No luck. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't buy bigger shorts. Instead, do what I did and fit into the ones from last year in just a few weeks with Awaken 180 weight loss. Heck, you'll be wearing your thin shorts again just a few weeks after that. How do I know? Because I'm still wearing my thin Austin shorts again this summer. I've kept my 50 pounds off thanks to Awaken 180's free maintenance support for life. Say it with me. I won't buy bigger shorts. Make that pledge, then call Awaken 180 and make the most out of this summer and every summer after. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or head online at awaken180weightloss.com. You won't regret it.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes. This week's honoree is Natalie Lorenz from Delaware. Natalie is a fire dispatcher who coordinates resources during major incidents and provides instructions to callers before the fire department arrives, going above and beyond the call of duty. Her professionalism, compassion, and strength make her an invaluable asset to her workplace and community. Natalie is a true unsung hero who deserves to be recognized.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. It is a big sale at Universal Windows Direct. You're getting an incredible 50% off your windows. That's half off, and it gets even better. For a limited time, you get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year. I got to tell you when something's half and when something's a year. You also get a free entry door with your window purchase. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, or visit universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The stupidest show on the station just got stupider. Common Man and Timmy are hosting afternoons. Best friends. Lots of jokes none of us understand. Not safe for work Instagram models. God help us.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
All right, big man. Top of the hour, we got to hear Ice's little trip to St. Elmo's and all that. And Indy, don't give us a tease, but I do want to hear it because word is that when Reese and Caitlin Clark got into it, the Maddie ran out onto the court and tried to break it up.
Oh, man.
All right, so you go ahead and lead off.
Okay, I'm starting with my boy. Willie B, a.k.a. Will Benson. Will Benson, for your Cincinnati Reds, has been cooking with hot grease recently. Last few games, this guy's turned into Barry Bonds. It's absolutely Barry Bonds without the steroids, by the way. Barry Bonds is down in Cincinnati at the moment.
His helmet still fits?
Yes, it does.
All right.
AR, he's got a 6-game hit streak going on. He's got 5 home runs over his last 4 games, 10 RBIs over those 4 games as well. In the month of May, since he got called up, he has batted .423. A lot of respect goes out to Willie B right now. Got called down to the minor leagues. You never know where guys can go mentally after that. Will they stick with it? He stuck with it. Tito and the gang called him up to the big leagues early in May, and he has been a presence in the middle of that lineup. And you know it was sweet revenge getting after the Guardians this weekend, his former team. Will Benson hitting dinger down at GABP, partying like a Roth star.
I'm not going to lie. I really thought this was the day. I did. And you know what I'm talking about. I thought you'd come in after that sweep, and I know they're 500.
Oh, no.
Throwing that back, but I thought you'd be caught up so much in what they did to the Guards that you wouldn't be able to help yourself.
I didn't even think about it.
Okay.
I was just happy that we finally beat the Guardians in the series because they've been whooping our you-know-what the last few years. They got it done, though. Shout out to the
Bobby was trash for me on Friday.
Wasn't great.
All right, so I'll stick with baseball because this is the only time I'll ever mention them, and why. So I might as well take the opportunity. So the Colorado Rockies are absolutely brutal. The Colorado Rockies. Somehow, for one game, they decided to pour 162 games into one. I don't know if you guys saw this. They beat Arizona 14-12. This is an 8-win team through 46 games.
That's awful.
They have a run differential, hear me closely, of minus 144. How in the world did this happen? Well, 24-year-old Jordan Beck. He was 14th overall.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interviews.
Not that
TLC.
Jordan.
Good stuff, TLC.
He was picked 14 in the 2019 draft by the Bo Sox. He didn't sign with them. He said, I'm going to Knoxville. I'm going to play for Tennessee. So then he goes back into the pool, and the Rockies take him 38th overall in 2022. He signed, got a nice signing bonus, a couple million. Well, this weekend in that 14-run game, he was 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and a triple. Drove in 3, scored 4 times, and added a walk. Made his major league debut a year ago, but it's Jordan Beck, who single-handedly decided to let the Colorado Rockies have one nice game.
I like it. Second candidate for me, I got to talk about Game 7 that happened in the NBA. And I got to lock in on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Alex Caruso, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I put SGA and the Joker on the pressure list on Friday because in Game 7s, this is obvious. But look, you need your star players to be star players. And SGA was exactly that. 35 points in the game, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 12 of 19 from the floor. 3 of 4 from 3 in 36 minutes. He could have played more and probably had a 40-piece. Absolutely tremendous stuff from him. But Alex Caruso, if you watched the game, you watched the assignment that was put on his plate, and that was guarding the best player in the NBA right now, and that is Nikola Jokic. Jokic still got his, but he made life difficult for him. He was like a hornet's nest, just flying around Joker all game long. Tremendous stuff from him as well. But this Thunder team grew up right before our eyes. Best record in the league in the Western Conference the last couple years, but they had to get through the final boss in the Denver Nuggets. They did that. They're going on to the Western Conference Finals against Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They brought out the handcuffs on them defensively. They've been cooking with hot grease all year. 54 double-digit wins this season. Their defense was awesome, as I mentioned. They scored 37 points off of turnovers. OKC moving on to the Western Conference Finals. The Thunder partying like a rock star.
All right. I remember mentioning to you guys going to the NHL playoffs that the Stars had lost 7 in a row to end the regular season, really stumbling into the postseason. But we knew that Dallas's forward group was pretty deep, maybe the deepest around. I'm going to highlight Jake Ottinger, though, because I think I had him on my fantasy team, and I didn't think he was like ultra capable of backstopping the Stars to a cup. He had a .909 save percentage in the regular season. He's up to .919 in the playoffs.
Okay.
And now they're riding the yacht dog or the phenomenator into the Western Conference Finals. I saw him have a couple clunkers against Colorado and Winnipeg, but his last 3 games, he's been outstanding. And he was 26th overall back in the 2017 draft, first goalie taken that year. But the Stars are 6-1 at the American Airlines Center this postseason. They'll have home ice against the Oilers, and they're also starting to get that elite goaltending out of the Otter. So I'm going to give it to him now. He was partying like a Roth star, and he has him back again. All right. That's it for Party Like a Roth Star. If you don't feel like partying like a Roth star, it may mean that you're suffering a little bit with low T. And the only way to really find out is to not waste time and money with low-quality online stuff that changes you and charges you and all that stuff. Visit the TRT experts at Low T Center. Free consultation, free test. The treatment is personalized to your body. Most major insurance will be accepted. And now you have the freedom to not only feel better, but choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. They'll ship it right to you, so you're in control of your health. Also, if you're a guy that hasn't been to the doctor, doesn't like going to the doctor, feels like you have to lose some weight as well, you can get a free B12 shot when you start prescription weight loss treatment. This is really one-stop shopping for guys at Low T Center. So I want you to go online to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Make your appointment, get your numbers, figure it out, start feeling your best. We'll come back. Top of the hour, Sports Center update here. And, Maddie, do we absolutely need this when it comes to sports? Something that got me a little bit sad today in hearing this. Nothing monumental, but it just got me thinking where we are in sports now and have we just gone off the deep end. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free Healthy Leg Screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN. Or loveyourveins.com.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with ONE+, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom! That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Scottie Scheffler solidified his spot as the best golfer in the world by winning the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow this weekend. Scheffler shot 11 under par, winning by 5 strokes. That's the largest margin in the PGA Championship since 2012. The Cincinnati Reds hit the road and travel to Pittsburgh to start a series with the Pirates at 6:40 tonight. Nick Lodolo versus Mitch Keller, the pitching matchup. You can hear it over on ESPN Columbus beginning at 6:10. The Cleveland Guardians in Minnesota to face the Twins at 7:40. Logan Allen gets the ball for Cleveland opposite Bailey Ober. No games in the NBA or Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. Conference finals start tomorrow in both. We do have some hockey, though, at 2:20 this afternoon as Team Canada takes on Finland at the World Championships. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or you can visit them online, rcdrv.com.
Anthony once ran the table on the World 9-Ball Champion. Coincidentally, Maddie is out looking for a magic 8-ball. Signs point to this is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Jake Burns, Browns Film Breakdown, coming your way at 1:30. My wonderful friend Stacy had tweeted in saying that, yes, Harlow.
Yeah.
Not seeing you, just hearing you. And it hit me today finally. Sometimes it takes a little while, but I'm telling you, I think you guys were born the same year. How it didn't hit me that you are Jack Harlow is unbelievable. It took you getting sick, putting the hoodie up, the whole thing.
The curls coming out.
And then I said to Maddie during the break, does Jack Harlow have a nickname? And do you guys know what his nickname is?
No, I do not. What is this?
No. His nickname is Missionary Jack.
Come on.
Hell yeah. But not that dude. So it gets even weirder. He's often referred to as Missionary Jack, who's the nickname is also his handle on TikTok and appears on his official merch. How did he get it? It comes from his grandmother, who started calling him that when he was just 2 years old. I have no more information. I don't know.
First of all,
that's up to you guys now to dig a little deeper.
Nicknames are supposed to be shorter than real names.
I'm thinking he's trying to steer us away from what it really is. So let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
And I don't think we'll be calling you that on the air.
No.
Do you think the grandmother is involved?
What, she's getting a cut of the merch?
No. I'm just saying, do you think she was involved in the creation of his nickname?
He was 2. That's what he's claiming.
I know, but you said that you don't believe him. And
I really don't
he's throwing
believe
us
him.
off the trail.
Which
part do you not believe? That his grandmother had no involvement and she's the fall guy?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. That's what I'm believing.
Fall, woman, whatever.
That's right. But that's who you are today. And all it took was like a couple words.
Yeah.
Actually, the first words you've spoken today.
Stacy? Tracy?
Stacy.
Stacy? You'll be delighted to know that I have curly hair. So I can.
Well, Stacy is my friend. So she also.
No, I meant so I can pull it off.
She also said that her 18-year-old daughter believes you to be hot sight unseen just by the voice. And then I said he should go on the Love is Blind show.
Listen, they did
just be a star.
They did a Columbus tour. I think it's a little too late.
They did?
Yeah, because one of my friends was kind of in the running for a little bit of time, but he couldn't get the time off because then you got to fly to Cali and shoot out there. But I believe the next season of Love is Blind that's coming out is going to be some people from Columbus on that show.
Really?
But yeah, listen, if you're single, right, TLC?
I am.
Yeah, maybe Stacy's daughter can,
Well, I
can
know
make that happen.
Stacy's mom has got it going on. So I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay.
You said
that's all I'm telling you.
Okay.
I think 18 is a little bit low.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Is
The
Stacy's
daughter's mom is Stacy, and she's got it going on, but the song is Stacy's mom, so I'd have to try to weave in some different lyrics. You're now
love
Jack
to say-
Harlow.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any way around this. Unless your voice gets better, and then we have to move.
We'll have to see how he recovers. We'll have to see how he recovers. So you want to hear about my weekend in Indy, because my weekend in Indy was awesome.
I'm trying not to laugh. He's wearing his, is that some sort of terrible towel?
So this is the terrible towel that I got at the Indiana Fever game that says, "Now you know," on it. And let me say this. Indy, awesome. You've been there plenty of times. Downtown is incredible. The setup, the connection from building to building, and all of that. They just did an awesome job with downtown Indy. Caitlin Clark has completely taken over the city. The game was Saturday at 3. We went to brunch at noon. We start at brunch, and it was called the Oakmont. Awesome place. Had a DJ going. Whole vibe was through the roof. Good stuff there.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
Who else could take over the city there?
Well,
besides her.
Well, right now you've got the basketball team in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton is all over the place. Yeah. And so we started brunch at the Oakmont, and all you saw, AR, was number 22 T-shirts, jerseys, everywhere. And I'm talking grown men all the way down to little girls. It was just awesome to see the city get behind her the way that they have. And just the energy was great, because obviously it was the opener for them, but it was also who they were playing. And it was Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. And so the game was a blowout. Indiana was just absolutely cooking them. They're having a great team. Kelsey Mitchell, former Buckeye, looking good as well. But what you got your money's worth when you got the foul. The Caitlin Clark foul on Angel Reese. Angel Reese goes down to the floor. She tries to get after Caitlin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston steps in before Angel could do whatever she was going to do, but clearly she was not happy with the foul from Caitlin Clark.
Okay, so let's handle that real fast.
Yeah.
She gets a backdoor pass or something, or whatever. She's underneath the hoop all alone. Clark feels like
it would have been a free lane, a free, easy bucket.
Just a layup. I don't think she had to move barely.
So she wanted to make her earn it.
Or at least not be able to get a shot off.
Correct. And it was a tough foul, and Angel goes down to the floor. The place absolutely erupted in boos when Angel Reese was trying to get after Caitlin Clark. So that just made the whole thing worth it. The game was awesome. Gamebridge Fieldhouse is a great place to watch a game, but the support that she has in that city is awesome. And she just controls the whole game, had a triple-double. She's special. You could see why she's going to be the face of the league for years and years to come. So that was really cool. And then we got to St. Elmo's. Or Elmo. Somebody messaged me the other day and said, it's not Elmo's, Matt. It's St. Elmo. My bad.
But you're doing it as kind of like, where are you going? Going to St. Elmo's.
You
like
walk
a pasta,
in there.
We all know, You
walk in there, and it was... The energy was all that old school restaurant vibe that you get.
That's right.
You go in there, you see the pictures on the wall of who's been there, actors, athletes, all type of celebrities signing pictures and all that. Mm-hmm. So we do the shrimp cocktail. And I'm here to tell you,
very spicy.
It's as advertised. It's as advertised.
So, you've been ripping on this.
It's as listen
for a while now.
I said I would come in here and eat some crow. I'm eating some crow. That stuff is delicious.
Yeah.
That stuff is delicious. The service was great.
World famous.
It was really good, man. It was really good. So we did St. Elmo, went across the street to a bar called Tom's Sports Bar. They have like over 150 TVs in there. Indy's just a good time, man. So I had a great weekend. But yeah, the Fever, man, they got me feeling the Fever because I'm kind of a fan after seeing the atmosphere and the electricity that was in the building.
I know this is being described as a hard foul or whatever. It's not like she was driving in and kind of took her head off going in for a free layup. She went for the ball and made sure that there was no and one situation. Like there was no where she could actually get a shot off. She went for the ball with both hands and made sure she grabbed hard enough where there was no. Did you view it as something beyond? Like,
if you're an Angel Reese supporter, you're labeling it as she shoved her to the ground. If you're a Caitlin Clark
I think she lost
supporter,
her balance based on where she got the ball.
I'm just telling you the narratives that are out there. One side is saying she threw her to the ground. Caitlin Clark fans are saying it was a hard foul.
How sure do you think Caitlin Clark is?
First of all, she didn't even use her body. She just used her hands to stop
I'm not disputing what you guys are saying. I'm just telling you what I've been hearing and reading over the last couple of days. But this is great for that league because now you have these two women that clearly don't like each other, and I think that's fine. basketball-wise, it's not a rivalry. The Fever are just a much better team. We'll see where the Sky can get. But I think it's good that you have these two women who carried what they did at the collegiate level from LSU and Iowa into the WNBA. The league will be able to market it. Both of these women are going to be, faces of the league for a long time, and it's going to be a great rivalry. And so, yeah, the foul, was it your normal foul? No. Did I think it was anything egregious? No, I didn't. It just, her reaction added to the conversation that's out there as well.
She wanted another piece of her as well, like right away, obviously the motion of the foul, and she falls to the ground. And then she got up and wanted a piece of her, and they stopped. And then she went kind of towards the scorer's table to go do the end around.
And was saying, what the blank is wrong with you and all that stuff. So, yeah.
She flopped.
Well, now I won't go to a flop. I'll go to if your momentum.
See her arms, how she flailed them out? She made a scene.
Okay. I've seen this highlight a few times. I think the initial foul forced her into where she's now kind of off balance a little bit. To your point of the flailing, I could see that because you're trying to sell a foul. She oversold what had happened to her. That's my opinion.
For sure.
But she got fouled, and it was like Maddie said, it's who fouled her. I don't know if you get that same reaction with somebody else. Do you, Maddie? If she gets that exact same foul, does she react the exact same way?
No. Well, I don't want to say 100% no, but
just
when she realized who it was, that got her going. That got her going a little bit more. So listen.
I didn't like that Caitlin just walked off, too.
Why?
She turned around because Angel was trying to confront her, and she walked up the court.
Well, no, I thought her reaction was perfect in that I did my job. You had a free
She looked like she was hiding.
You had a free layup.
Running from the smoke.
A little bit.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't view it that way. I thought she did what she should do, which is my job was to make sure you didn't get that shot off. I did. I thought it was a legit foul. I was willing to give up a foul to do it, and then I turned and walked to my team.
I love it either way.
So you wanted her to just stand her ground and wait for her to go nose to nose?
Well, not necessarily, because... And look, you also got a point guard versus a power forward, so that's not even a level playing field to begin with.
A point guard versus a power forward.
What?
This isn't the NBA All-Star game.
He's saying there's a bit of a size.
I'm saying, is Caitlin Clark going to get in her? No, I'm not saying that she shouldn't get in her face. And look, for as much as I think Angel Reese flopped, which she did, it was a hard foul. And so I don't like the idea of Caitlin Clark giving a hard foul and then going and running and hiding to her coach.
I could see that.
You see what I mean?
I could see that.
Okay.
I see where he's coming from. If you're going to foul that way, stand your ground.
Yeah.
Stand your ground.
Don't go hide.
The worst foul to make, guys, is the stupid reach-in that doesn't cause any problem, and the player can still get the shot off. You have to go in with two hands.
No, we're not disagreeing with you on that. We're not talking about the foul. We're talking about her reaction after the foul. If you're going to do it that way.
When she turned around and walked to her bench.
Stand on business.
See what I mean?
Okay, I guess I'm looking at it as it's also not only physical warfare out there, it's mental. And I think that Caitlin, turning around and walking away got under Reese's skin even more. Like, I don't...
Oh, it probably did, because Angel Reese probably wanted a piece of her.
Caitlin's not trying to sell that it was a hard foul. And if you stand there, then you're almost playing into Reese's thought of it. That's all you were trying to do, was body her to the ground or something. I think by just, reaching in, whistle blows.
Yeah, go earn it at the line.
That's
all it was.
She talked to Holly Rowe during the game, and she said it's just a good take foul. Either Angel gets wide open, 2 points, or we send her to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. Every basketball player knows that. So that was her explanation during the game as to the foul.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a hard foul.
It's great.
Just go to the line, earn it.
I'm so glad you were there.
I had a good time.
I'm so glad you guys had a good weekend.
I thought the roof was going to blow off of that building when this situation happened.
No doubt.
Because everybody felt like that's what you wanted to see. Like, their names are on the marquee. This goes back to Angel Reese flashing the ring in front of her face and all that stuff. And now here they are on the women's biggest stage for basketball, and you get this drama in game number 1.
All right. Perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about with the situation in sports right now in pro sports. We'll get to that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At 9 Trees Landscape Construction, we have high expectations. Can you deliver excellence in hardscape at the highest level? Does your current company compensate you at the highest level? For 25 years, 9 Trees compensates excellence with wages and benefits packages guaranteed better than your current employer. Guaranteed. Call 614-921-9595 or apply at 9treeslc.com today to join 9 Trees Landscape Construction and elevate your career to be your best with us.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Over the weekend, you went into your closet trying on shorts from last year. They were all too tight, so you searched deeper in the closet, looking through shorts you stashed away from thinner years. Maybe a big pair had gotten lost in the mix. No luck. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't buy bigger shorts. Instead, do what I did and fit into the ones from last year in just a few weeks with Awaken 180 weight loss. Heck, you'll be wearing your thin shorts again just a few weeks after that. How do I know? Because I'm still wearing my thin Austin shorts again this summer. I've kept my 50 pounds off thanks to Awaken 180's free maintenance support for life. Say it with me. I won't buy bigger shorts. Make that pledge, then call Awaken 180 and make the most out of this summer and every summer after. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or head online at awaken180weightloss.com. You won't regret it.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Spring showers revealing roofing or siding issues? Trust the pros at Newman Roofing for expert care, white glove service, and quality you can count on. Schedule your estimate today and take advantage of special financing options. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hope you didn't forget your sunglasses today. A mostly sunny day ahead with afternoon highs getting up into the low 70s. And then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows in the upper 40s. For Tuesday, rain returns to the forecast with a chance of thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Afternoon highs on Tuesday will be in the mid to upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie was a big Browns fan. Scratch that, we mean he's a big fan of the former Browns. Oh, yeah? The Baltimore Ravens. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, text coming in. I didn't see this. You were at the game.
Yeah.
What about Angel Reese pushing the Indy player in the back prior to the rebound?
That happened. That happened as well. So she pushed. I don't know if it was Aaliyah Boston. I don't remember who the Fever player was. But that happened, which created that lane once Angel got the ball. Caitlin realizes that, and then the hard foul happens. Yeah.
Okay. So let's listen to the boys today, Bishop and Friends, every day 9 to noon. Great show. And Bo had set up the bracket, basically, for the NHL and the NBA.
Okay.
And he was talking about, and he's dead on right, that and he and I, different generation, maybe we're used to the traditional teams and the Bostons, the LAs, Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And so now you get, Thunder, Timberwolves, and Pacers, Knicks. And then he was talking about, I think maybe Bake weighed in on Panthers, Hurricanes, Stars, Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
And how the Oilers are so off the planet that and his point was, and it was a good one, that unless you liked these teams specifically or had some crazy passion towards one of their players, this is exactly what we don't want or what the leagues don't want. And I was driving and listening, and I got sad about it. And this is the reason. Have we gotten to a point in sports, and I'm not this way yet, where we won't watch an event if we don't have passion or care about that specific team? Because I want to watch great sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to love or be from Oklahoma City or Minnesota to really care about this matchup. And I think there's a slant now, and maybe it's a generational thing, I don't know, that unless it's like rivals or big traditional teams or absolute star of stars in them, that all of a sudden we can't watch anymore? Or that the mass people won't be interested, that there's no hook, there's no draw? And I'm thinking, these are the best teams of this year. They didn't luck into it. Mm-hmm. There's a reason.
And also,
and if we're sports fans, we call ourselves sports fans, why would we be turning away from something if it didn't have like a transcendent star in the game?
I'm with you, AR, because I'm not wired that way. I enjoy this time of year because this is the best of the best. This is what you do it for as a player, and this is what I really enjoy as a fan, is getting to this point and having 4 teams left on both sides of this thing that have earned the right to be here and obviously been really good all season and throughout the postseason to get to this point. For the NBA side of things, you got the dream, or one of the dreams, if you are the league on the Eastern Conference side, because of the historic rivalry between the Knicks and the Pacers. That's awesome, right? They played last year in the postseason. The teams are a little bit different now with Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges now for the Knicks. But at the end of the day, it's still Knicks and Pacers. On the Western side of things, this has been brewing the last couple of years with the emergence of SGA and the Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a rock star. He's a superstar. He's in national commercials all over the place. SGA, he is in a smaller market. But if you're a basketball fan, you knew that this was coming, that eventually this team was going to punch through that wall and get to the series right before the NBA Finals. I'm going to enjoy all of it. There's always the case to be made that the big brands and the big markets are going to win over a lot of people, and I hear that. Major League Baseball loved what they got in the World Series last year. They got the Dodgers and they got the Yankees. You got Judge on one side, you got Ohtani on the other. And so that obviously works for a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's still baseball. They don't have the love that football has. Like, whatever Super Bowl we get this year, the ratings are going to be through the roof, whether it's a surprise team or whether it's 2 headline teams we anticipate prior to the season kicking off getting there. Football has that luxury. I think other sports do need some of the headline names and marquee brands to help their ratings a little bit. But if you're a fan of that sport, you're going to watch regardless. I think this conversation maybe slants a little bit toward towards the casual fan, right? And trying to hook them.
Well, his point was that if you weren't a fan of one of these teams, you don't care. And I don't like that. And maybe right. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And I'll tell you, and this isn't just because I don't root for these teams, but the fact that we didn't have the Rangers and the Bruins and the Penguins in the playoffs this year, like, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do we need that in sports? And I think we've gotten into a situation where, unless it's the Lakers playing Boston, that all of a sudden nothing matters. Like, and I'm not talking about Cleveland. Cleveland would have mattered to people around here. But I like that we've got new teams, new blood, underdogs. Like, isn't that the way it's supposed to be? Like, I feel like you're right. And then if we do luck into those just mammoth brands every now and then, I can certainly get on board with that, right? Anyone can. Yankees, Dodgers, you can do that.
Yep.
But when the guys were pointing out, and I'm not saying, they weren't saying that these guys don't have stars. They do. But if it's not LeBron or Jordan or somebody like, or Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid, and we may have him, but like, I think we've gotten to a weird spot where, how can you call yourself a huge sports fan if you're now turned off because there's no big brand in it?
Let me ask you this, AR. Let's go back to the college football playoff last year. And let's say, without thinking about the rankings, let's say the last two teams standing were SMU and Boise State. What do you think that would have done for the sport? If that was our national championship
Would they
game,
have earned it? Would they have beaten those?
There's no denying that the answer to your question
I'm not a ratings
yes.
guy.
I know, but my thing is,
less.
I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't know if SMU and Boise State would really do big-time numbers the way Ohio State and Notre Dame
Of course
would.
not.
So I think that
there's no argument.
So
there's no argument there.
Like,
I'm saying, Maddie, that if that's the way it's supposed to be, and you say, well, I'm not interested, and I'm not talking about because they beat your team.
Yeah.
Take that out of the equation. I'm just talking about as a sports fan. I know you and I are different in this way. You love heavy favorite guy. I'm underdog guy. But if they earned it and it broke that way, I guess what I'm asking is, why is there no appeal anymore unless we have a big brand to make us feel good, like it means something more? Like you need a heavyweight fight.
I think there's appeal, but I think for me, when it comes to March Madness, once we get past the Sweet 16, I'm good on the underdogs. Like, I like it, but I think when we talk about the ultimate prizes that are on the line, I do lean that way. I do lean that way. So I think it's to a point. It's a point where some people like myself kind of get turned off a little bit by teams that don't have maybe a recognizable star or two.
There's no question. And especially in individual sports. Like, I get it. If, like, Joker was playing Nadal and that final is different than two unknowns. I'm not arguing that. This is more of a team sport where these teams are really good. They've beaten some really good teams. And all of a sudden it feels like the sports world is turned off by it not being the teams that we're so used to seeing. And I think that's kind of sad. It made me kind of sad today when the guys were talking about it, because they're not wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong. Bo's exactly right with, unless you're a fan of Edmonton, you won't have the passion to watch. I think that's where he was going with, where's the passion as a regular sports fan to care about teams you don't care about? It's because the matchup. You watch the matchup, and I'm not denying that, but you can't tell me.
You're kind of zooming out and saying that if you're a hockey fan and you love hockey, you should be
These
in
are compelling.
You should be in no matter what.
I'll take you to where you want to go. I'll take you to the NBA. You can't tell me right now that these two series are predictable. They're anything but predictable. And that's what we love.
I agree.
You can't sit here and guarantee that Minnesota is going to lose to the Thunder or that the Knicks are going to beat the Pacers.
I think both series are going at least 6 games.
And if they don't, they don't. But my point is that it's because it's not Boston and LA. All of a sudden, it's not compelling enough for us to want to watch.
That's not for me, but for that sport specifically, outside of football, is the sport I love most. And so I was going to sit down and watch regardless. I don't know if the casual fan is going to line up starting tomorrow night to watch OKC in Minnesota.
I'm just saying, if you're a fan of the sport.
You would think.
I'm not. You
would think.
You're right about the casual basketball fan maybe not being pulled in. Or the casual, if there is such a thing as a casual hockey fan. I don't even know if there is. You either love it or you don't. It's more than that. So, but I just got to the point where when they were talking about it, I'm like, wow, we've got two very compelling matchups in the NBA, and some new blood in the NHL. And all of a sudden, we're kind of like,
I'm telling you, Aaron, I'd be lying if I sat here and told you that if we got the national championship, my hypothetical national championship, that I would have been excited that day to sit down and watch that game.
Is a crazy hypothetical that if that happened, it would be a Haley's Comet type of thing.
I would have been
I don't think we'd ever get to that. But it doesn't mean that. It means they had earned it. And I just got sad today thinking, like, unless it's a big brand, we don't care anymore.
I think there's a lot of people that are wired that way. Yeah.
All right. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend, Jake Burns. And is Shedeur going to prove them all wrong? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
With Progressive customer service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with OnePlus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, kids. Anthony once did magic for birthday parties. See, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. Back to Rothman and Ice.
All right, the trick that the Browns are going to have to pull is making sure that one of these quarterbacks hits. They really do. And now, if Kenny Pickett becomes the guy and Shedeur and Dillon get tossed to the side as backups or one gets cut, then you know what? The Browns will feel vindicated. Hey, we traded for Pickett, and all of a sudden. But this is going to be a build. This will be a long build, and I don't know when they're going to get the proof of life that they want out of one of these quarterbacks. That's why we brought on our guy, Jake Burns. Browns Film Breakdown. Good to have you back, my friend. How you been?
Oh, great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Give me your take on that. Of these three guys, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, do you have more confidence in one or the other, or do you truly have to see this play out, or have you kind of almost eliminated one of them in your mind?
I don't know that I really have a definitive take on who's going to be better, right? Because I think we can all agree that Kenny Pickett's ceiling is pretty defined in the NFL. I know that kind of sounds harsh, but when you look at sort of his throw chart, where he prefers to throw the football, whether you want to kind of lean away from Matt Canada's offense or not, that he struggled with in Pittsburgh, even when you watch some of those Philly games when he got a chance to spot start late in the season, it's a lot of similar outside the numbers types of throws that are very defined, and he doesn't like to – I wouldn't say doesn't like, but is not confident and is not productive throwing over the middle of the field. So, I think there's a baseline with Kenny Pickett of, hey, this young man started some games. He has competency in and out of the huddle. He can operate things at a sort of baseline level. But I'm not all too interested in what Kenny Pickett brings to Cleveland, just because I really feel like that ceiling, which is already relatively low, even if you trace back when he was selected in the draft, a few years back there with Pittsburgh, it was a pretty head-scratching pick then, and it just sort of defined itself in that way. So I'm not really that interested. What I am, obviously, and I think most Browns fans should be interested is are either of these two young quarterbacks that they drafted going to be the answer? And I think the tricky part of that is, are they going to arrive into the role of starting football games in a situation that is conducive for a young guy to be successful, right? Like kind of in the middle of the season, maybe when the thing isn't going as well as you would hope, I think, in a season that is potentially lost at that point, the best way to go with some of those guys. So what I would really like to see is, are either of them able to claim a leg up early in the training camp preseason portion to have a chance to start when, I guess what I'm getting at is like the season is undefined, right? Where the season has hope, optimism, guys are healthy, and you can really see what they have. I think you lean Shedeur out of sheer talent because that's a quarterback I had graded higher. I had an end of the first, early second round grade. And if you're just putting into practice, like what's a guy look like on the field, I think Shedeur would point to you, and at least it did for me, in the direction of he has the best chance. Now, how the interpersonal stuff goes, how he's able to handle in and out of the huddle, the locker room, the navigation of the verbiage of an offense, all of that stuff is undefined and hard for us to tell on the outside looking in at rookie minicamp and offseason stuff. And I do like a lot about Dylan Gabriel in terms of his ability to, as a shorter stature guy, use the middle of the field, and he's accurate with the football, and he puts it where it needs to be in a very pinpoint, on-time sort of process. I am excited for both of them while also kind of being tempered in those expectations as they're a third and fifth round guy, and what is normally the odds on those players being the answer. But I do see the appeal to both of them, why they drafted both of them. And if things in the culture of the offense get in a better place and the health of the guys around them get in a better place, it's not like you don't have to squint that hard to see them navigate it in a solid way. So, yeah, there should be a little excitement from Browns fans if either of these two young guys can be the answer.
Jake, there's been so much focus on the quarterbacks, and rightfully so. Like we understand how important that position is, but when you look at their draft class outside of the quarterback, specifically the offensive pieces that they brought in with Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel, who was your favorite offensive selection in this year's draft?
That's a tough question because there's two that I really like, and then there's another one that I also kind of really like. I mean, we all watched Quinshon Judkins here in Ohio for a year, and obviously that backfield tandem with Trevion was really special. Just two really unselfish, hyper-talented football players. So I guess my answer on the shorthand is Quinshon because I think he fits in how the Browns want to run the football so well. I think he could be a three-down back. I think he's got the right kind of vision, contact balance, explosiveness to be a really good NFL running back, especially inside the tackle box, which is so hard for many guys to come from college into the NFL and find that consistent success. So I have high expectations for him. I think he's going to be really good. But I also, if I'm allowed to sneak an extra answer, and Harold Fannin, the Bowling Green product, a Canton kid who's staying at home in Ohio, there is so much to like about him as a tight end. Maybe a tad undersized, but when you look at the shoulders and you look at the frame, you can see how this guy can be really productive in the NFL. And a pair with David Njoku, living in a little bit more 12 personnel where he's kind of a power slot in the backfield, getting creative with him because he's done all of that stuff at Bowling Green, and he brings a diverse football background into the fold. Like, I just think that there's a really interesting part of Harold Fannin is a productive pass catcher who can really get open, create separation, and can create after the catch, leading all tight ends by a wide margin in yards after the catch last year. And he did it at Texas A&M, at Penn State, against big-time competition too, not just MAC results. So he's fun. And I think if you get creative with him and use him in unique ways, Fannin is a really interesting part of an offense kind of reverting back to trying to be a bit heavier in personnel and trying to dictate getting more linebackers on the field for defenses to create mismatches. So they're going to be fun. And like I said, Quinshon is who we saw, and I just think he's going to be really good quickly for Cleveland.
All right, our guy Jake Burns with us, BrownsFilmBreakdown.com, one of the best in the biz, covering them up there in Cleveland. All right, I'll take you back to the quarterback situation. What would surprise you more? Flacco's not on this roster in the fall or Pickett?
Great question. I guess I think it would probably be if Flacco's not, just because I think the market for Joe, who was brought in to be this safe fallback, is pretty defined. Whereas Pickett, I think that the cut bait number is very low. So if you were to trade him for a future pick swap with somebody who maybe gets in a quarterback hurt, a pinch because of injuries in the preseason. That's possible. There also might be a team. We saw the Saints recently with the Derek Carr retirement as a possible connection between Kellen Moore, now the head coach there. There's just going to be more interest in what Pickett can do versus letting Flacco. Like, it's hard to see a Flacco trade. It would probably just be releasing Joe, but then you're eating money, and that relationship would be strange. So I think I'd be more surprised if Flacco were not on the roster than Pickett, who I think does have some minor appeal to some other places.
All right, but man, should be an exciting season. I mean, there's a lot going on here. And would you be sad, real quick, would you be sad if they kind of were, again, right there near I mean, what are your expectations? Their over-under is like, what, 4.5 wins? So I assume you're not expecting much. Do you feel like leaning into another kind of pseudo-tank is okay?
That's a great question. Not one that I think a lot of Browns fans love to talk about in May. But, yeah, it's hard with the schedule difficulty that's in front of them, with a lot of teams sort of in the Vegas win totals on the higher end of things on that schedule. It's hard to see them being very good. And even if you say, hey, the top end of the season is 8-9 wins, that'd be fun. That's the ceiling to me. But if you're looking at the realistic number, you're probably looking at 5, 6, or 7. But on the side of that I'm on, I mean, it depends on how the young quarterbacks go. If early in the season one of them takes the reins and can show you they can be a productive player and you can kind of get behind that and they start forming some offensive continuity and success, you start to get a little excited about that. Like, what I'm getting at is 8 wins where Shedeur Sanders shows promise is an exciting thing, right? Whereas if you're navigating this season, you get 6 wins and no quarterback stands out and you're picking 13th or something, is a little trickier. Obviously, they got the second first-round pick for the next draft in line with there's some exciting young quarterbacks in this college football season coming. You can take that Jaguars pick and couple it with your own and hopefully move into the top 5 if you love a guy. But it's also just really not out of the realm of possibility that both the Browns pick and the Jaguars pick, based on how challenging both of those schedules are, end up kind of, sort of mirroring that little bit of that Baker Denzel where they were 1-4. So let's hope they're better. Obviously, we want to cover good football, but I do think it's very possible, based on all the challenges here, that they're looking at some higher picks again in next draft. And if they can find the quarterback that matters, whether it's one of these young guys here now or trading a couple picks for an answer in the next draft, that's all that really is the most important thing. They need to find the future at that position.
Well done, my man. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate you jumping on. Always look forward to our conversations. Be well. We'll talk soon.
Great. Thanks for having me, guys, very much.
Jake Burns, BrownsFilmBreakdown.com on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we come back with a Buckeye Bulletin, and a former Buckeye says he's a changed man, and he's drawing interest. Where's it from? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day it was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you, you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Forever starts with the perfect diamond. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and for over 78 years, our family has helped generations of couples celebrate love with brilliance, quality, and unbeatable prices. At Diamond Cellar, bigger diamonds and better prices are our promise to you. Whether you're popping the question or upgrading your sparkle, trust the experts. Because diamonds, they're our forte. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gehanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. "These windows were great." Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. You guys remember the old Damon Arnett?
Oh, yeah. I recognize that name.
First rounder in the COVID year.
Yeah, man.
Was released very quickly. And there was video of him making some threats, carrying a firearm. That surfaced later. And, of course, it's the NFL, so he signed with the Chiefs in 2022. He was released a week later as he was arrested for charges that included assault with a deadly weapon. There were further legal issues that cropped up over the last couple of years. I don't need to go through all of them. But he was out of football. And then he signed with the UFL ahead of, is it last season? I'm losing track now. He had a couple of really good plays. He was involved. He was engaged. And there were some NFL teams that decided to reach out to get more information. And he says that the good play is a result of him just changing himself over the last few years, which is fantastic. He says, with coaches, I feel like I've proved a complete turnaround. All the coaches that have been with me right now, I feel like their words would be more valuable because I've said a lot of things in the past. What I would say is what they see on film, that's me being out of commission for 3 years, but I'm a dog on the field. I'm more of a pro now than I ever was before. I wasn't a professional before. And so if he's found this, what it takes to stick around, the UFL season is winding down. I have no idea if he'll find a spot on a 90-man roster going into the summer. But if he does, be one of the great comeback stories. I don't know. I mean, this is a tough thing, trying to get back into the NFL, especially when you've got a history like he does. He's not old. He's not young. He's 28 when it comes to NFL football.
He'll be 29 in September. And look, sometimes you got to get kicked back down to the bottom of the mountain, right? And find some answers and do some soul searching. And it sounds like Damon Arnett has done that up there. The Canadian League, you said the UFL up there?
UFL. Houston, I think.
Okay, so Houston. So if that's the case, if an opportunity comes a knocking, you just hope that he's learned from those mistakes and can get out of his own way, because that's what it seemed like it was, right? The talent was there. Clearly the league thought highly of him to take him in the first round, and so I have to imagine he could still go out there and ball at a pretty high level. And the NFL, if somebody is interested in him, they are going to do a lot of their research and talk to a lot of the people he's been around the last couple of years to see if the risk is worth it. Because guys that are talented, whether you agree with it or not in sports, they get opportunities, and they get opportunity after opportunity. So if he's cleaned himself up, man, really hope he gets that chance to shine and fulfill his dream. But it's a massive question mark. There's no doubt about it.
It's just too many really good players that are doing it the right way. But if he's above them in talent, and he's kind of that out-of-the-box cornerback kind of guy to take a chance on, he's kind of working his way back to you, babe, he might get back there.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. He wasn't a first-team All-Big Ten guy here, but he was very good and turned himself into a first-round draft choice. He was always a talent. He's a four-star kid. He always had that type of potential. But it'll be interesting to see if anyone's willing to take a chance at him. But it does start with talent. And then for him, it takes a lot more than talent. That baggage can't come along for the ride.
No, you're right, AR. Speaking of talent, we know Marvin Harrison Jr. has a lot of that. And one of the best to ever do it for the Arizona Cardinals, and Larry Fitzgerald was talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. and had this to say, quote, "I saw a guy who made a lot of plays. He did a really good job when the ball came to him. He made his plays. He's only going to continue to get better, so I'm excited to see his year 2. If he ever needs anything, I told him I'm always available for him any way I can be helpful. But fortunately, he has a father who has a heck of a lot better than I was in my career." So, that's great to hear if you're Marvin, is that a guy that was the face of the franchise for a long time and Larry Fitzgerald and played for such a long time at a respectable level, sees the vision. We know what talent Marvin has in there. Just the chemistry between he and Kyler Murray needs to get a lot better, because that's all it was last year. Those guys just could not get on the same page. He's going to take a massive leap, I believe, this year. You read some stuff coming out of Arizona with he and Kyler spending time together this offseason, along with Trey McBride. So those guys are trying to figure it out. But AR, never hurts when you got a Hall of Fame talent saying, if you need me, just hit me up. I got you. Now you got him and Papa Harrison. It's good living if you can get it.
I'd like to believe that a breakout, big-time breakout, and I usually don't use that word breakout with a guy that talented, but I think when it comes to what you and I discuss a lot, which is fantasy football statistics, that he should break out. I'm looking at his stats from last year. He was a little under 7 targets a game, and then his production really spiked in the 8 games he saw at least 7 targets. Yeah. So I remember you saying this, because when we debated whether to take him, you're like, volume, volume, volume. And he needs volume, and I think he's going to get it. So they focused on defense in the draft anyway, and they didn't add anybody that would threaten his volume, did they?
Good. I don't believe they did. He had a clunky year with Kyler, and he still led them in receiving touchdowns. The problem was the efficiency between the two wasn't there. 116 targets went his way from Kyler, and they only connected on 62 of those. You want that number to be a lot higher, and I think those guys will get that in order this season.
Well, he is with your flag football draft.
That's my quarterback.
That's your quarterback.
It's my quarterback, like Terowan said.
It's my quarterback.
Yep.
Oh, man, as we build the perfect beast last week in fantasy football. In the snake draft, it was a little clunky itself.
It was the Olympic. It was our flag football draft.
Yeah, but it was
flag football.
It was clunky.
It was bad. You and I couldn't figure out the snake draft. TLC was looking at us like we were crazy.
Because when you're doing a 3-man weave, the snake doesn't really jump out that much. But he got us right. All right, that's today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, a minute for my guys over there that are listening that just may not be feeling their best right now. And it's time for you to go to Low T Center and get your numbers, get the power, find out, be guided by the experts. You're going to get a free consultation. You'll get a free test. The treatment's going to be personalized to your body if you need it. And you'll get really excited about feeling better and moving forward and a whole new you, really. And it's personalized to you. Like I said, most major insurance is accepted. They'll verify that for you. And then it becomes ultra convenient because if you want to chip to your house, they'll do that. If you want to do where you go into Low T Center and let them administer, that's great too. You're in control. And if you're looking to lose weight, you can get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. Most guys that fear going to the doctor or don't like doing it, this really is the answer I think you've been looking for, to just go in there and start making a step towards feeling better. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com and make this the best year yet. We'll come back and we'll hit a top of the hour Sports Center update and we'll get into a deep dive. The greatness that we witnessed on Sunday, is he moving the needle enough or does he even have to? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hiring today for tomorrow with WM. A stable career and a safe environment. That's what you get as a heavy-duty mechanic at WM.
Plus great benefits like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family.
WM is now hiring heavy-duty mechanics in Columbus. Get boot and tool allowance and additional pay with a Cummins certification or CDL license.
There are openings for CDL truck drivers too with home daily routes.
Apply online at careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer.
Get an Eco.
ECO. Aaron, I love that we fix ACs for free.
I don't think we do that, Jerry.
Get an Eco.
ECO. Stay with me, Aaron. I'm going to explain to you how it works.
You're going to explain to me how my own invention works?
Get an Eco.
ECO. Step 1. Some other HVAC company tells a customer that they need a whole new system.
Yes.
And then they call us.
They can always call us, Jerry.
Get an Eco.
ECO. and then we repair their system for free.
No, then they pay us.
But we give the money back, right?
We give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old system when they finally do need a new one.
Up to $1,500, right?
Right.
Aaron, we're fixing HVAC systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We extend the life of their system.
That's right.
Those extra years are free. On me.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. One day after wrapping up their Ohio Cup Series, both the Reds and Guardians starting new series tonight. Cincinnati is in Pittsburgh to face the Pirates at 6:40. Nick Lodolo versus Mitch Keller, the pitching matchup in that one. You can hear it over on ESPN Columbus beginning at 6:10. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8 after the Buckeyes show. The Guardians in Minnesota taking on the Twins at 7:40. Logan Allen gets the start for Cleveland opposite Bailey Ober. No games in the NBA or Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. Conference finals will begin tomorrow night. After winning the Super Bowl this year, the Philadelphia Eagles have signed head coach Nick Sirianni to a multi-year extension. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. This one brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. If you didn't watch the PGA Championship, well, a couple things. You may not be into golf, and that's fine. Or you're into golf, and you thought it was a foregone conclusion that Scheffler was going to walk away with this, because once he had the 3-shot lead going into the final round, then you thought of all the dudes that were on that leaderboard, only Rahm would, because the other guys, Matty, didn't have majors. And so it was almost going to be a walk in the park. Now, sometimes that can work against you, you know, where it's a foregone conclusion, you're going to win, and he's had, you know, by the way, his driver failed the test too. Just like Rory's.
I saw that headline floating around.
Yeah, I don't think it sounds weird when you see that headline, because you start thinking of, is this the, in a weird way, PD for a golfer? Like if he's using a non-conforming club to win. Well, they didn't play with it.
The torpedo bat of golf?
Potentially.
They're still out there, by the way.
I think, listen, a non-conforming club can be many things. It doesn't have to be that someone built a better club or it doesn't conform or it has some secret to it. It could be more of that it doesn't conform because it may have where it thinned out a little bit or it just didn't measure up somehow.
Real quick, Edgar, because I love that you brought this up because I'm not too aware of this, how this really works. Is it like a scanner or something that does it, or a human that tests? Like, I don't
know. That's a great question. I don't know. Okay. I'm assuming that whoever the human being that takes the club and tests them does put it through certain tests.
Gotcha.
With scientific stuff. Okay. This isn't just by looking at it or just having or weighing it or something. Right. I don't think it's that. They do test it, and they're supposed to test them every week.
So you're saying it's like how my grandma used to cook. Like my grandma didn't measure anything, just the eye test. Like, Grandma, how are you doing that? Like, boy, I've been doing this for years
Just
and
a
years.
pinch.
Yeah, like she didn't measure anything. Like for all of her recipes, just the eye test, and it came out delicious.
I'm sure it
That's
did.
for sure.
Doing it that consistent, that long.
God,
Why
those
not?
sweet potato pies, AR? Yeah, that was a win. You a pumpkin pie or sweet potato guy? Over there, TLC.
Okay. I like sweet potatoes.
Yeah,
but I prefer a pumpkin pie.
By the way, I am all in with you on sweet potato fries now. Like, I liked them, but now I'm like, I need them.
Here's the issue with sweet potato fries. I want to ask you guys this.
Yeah.
Because I got to have some dipping sauce.
I'm with you.
And I'm wondering, do those pass into another echelon where they just don't need anything? You just eat them as they are because they're sweet already. Or do you need something? Because I will dip those in
ketchup, barbecue sauce, any of that stuff.
Maddie, I had this is classic me. I ate healthy yesterday and I had a salad. But I had to have a side of fries with it. You've seen me do this before.
A lot. I've seen you do it a lot. Yeah.
And I was dipping the fries in the salad dressing.
I don't see a problem with that. Was it like a Caesar vinaigrette?
It was like a poppy seed. It was amazing.
Okay.
And they were regular fries.
Yeah.
They weren't sweet potato fries. And I'm wondering if sweet potato fries, they don't need anything.
I'm kind of new to the sweet potato fry game, and I've been doing ketchup and ranch. Not combined, but those have been the two that I've been rocking out with right now. So I would love suggestions from anybody if there's a good sauce that pairs well with sweet potato fries.
Right.
But yeah, every time I get them now, I think about you.
Some sort of a drizzle.
Oh, yeah.
That you want on there.
Maybe like a little honey glaze would be good on those.
Glaze for sure. I would say maybe something in the, I can't tell whether I'd want to go more sweet, like kind of like a syrupy type of something, or whether it's
I guess it depends on what you're pairing the fries with as well. Like a good burger, a little chicken sandwich, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway.
Sorry, I got to.
No, that's, I'm starting to think.
Sorry.
So let me ask you this.
It's lunchtime out there.
Rahm winds up tying that thing up at 9 under, so now it's on. And he's got all the momentum. And Scheffler's missing fairways. And all of a sudden, we get a chance to see if Scottie Scheffler has the you-know-what to pull this off. Because sometimes when things go south and the other guy, and he's looking at leaderboards, and he doesn't have it that day, and he's human. He just may not have it. And so, and all of a sudden, Rahm made some pretty good swings. He got a couple of bad breaks. He missed a couple of birdie putts that could have gone, and I think he would have stolen this thing.
If things go south, things could go south.
That's right. If things went south for Scottie Scheffler, and they were starting to go south.
Yeah, they were.
And I think that this kind of dovetails into our conversation about, is he boring or is the golf boring? And I think this is a totally just non-golfer conversation because most people are in. Now, if he ran away with it by 6-7 strokes, even I might flip the channel. But we were witnessing greatness yesterday, that this guy has not been in a 54-hole lead where he hasn't been able to close the door. You know how special that is in sports? You guys get this. And now that's an individual sport. This is like a pitcher who has been in, let's call it, I don't know how umpteen save situations and never blows it or comes in with runners on. This is that kind of mental fortitude that I think Scottie Scheffler has.
So what you're saying, through 3 rounds, if this guy has the lead, it's a wrap. He's bringing it home more times than not.
However it gets done, it gets done.
Yeah.
He let Rahm, almost not let him, he tied it up and then he slammed on the gas. This is his 3rd major title, but I think what's very important is this was his first non-Masters major. And I think that's big because the Masters is its own golf course. It's as special as anything, maybe the most special. But U.S. Open is the toughest. The Masters, I think, is the toughest mentally on guys because they know what that green jacket means and they know who wears them and who has them. So if you asked an American kid, would you rather win the U.S. Open or the Masters, I'm going to make the assumption that they've always dreamed of winning the Masters. He had 2 of those. Now he's got the PGA Championship, which is, I'm not trying to make it that much lesser than, but it's lesser than a U.S. Open. It is. The U.S. Open, where par is supposed to be a great score, and it's the biggest test, the toughest test of golf, and all that. But he made every putt he needed to at 10, at 14, at 16. That tournament was still up for grabs. He is as strong mentally as good as he is physically. Forget about another $3.4 million. This guy's got $80+ million. He's got more money than anything. It's really not, the pressure doesn't come from the money. He is now 4th all time in money behind Tiger and Rory and Phil.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
And I think he won his first Masters 3 years ago.
Wow.
So
he's not even 30 yet.
No, the money has gone crazy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I'm glad you brought up that part but my point is he's converted the last 6 54-hole leads or co-leads.
Lights out.
6.
Yeah, it's lights out. And when I was watching him, excuse me, as you were as well, the back end of that third round where he really cranked that thing up, right? I think he eagled 14, and then after that, he was just on fire. But then you got to respond, as you laid out, when Rahm, a big name, starts to come into your rearview mirror, and you see him hunting you down. As the kids say, Scottie Scheffler is him. He's the guy. He is the new Tiger of this era. And I'm not saying his career is going to be on the level of Tiger and Jack. We know those are the names for the sport, but the trajectory that this dude is on right now and the dominance that he is showing, especially when I saw this floating around, he became just the third player since World War II to win 15 PGA Tour events and 3 major championships before the age of 29. The only other guys to do that, the aforementioned Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. That's the company that he is in. And so you asked, does he move the needle? For the golf fan, obviously he does, right? This is the guy, the face of the sport. For the casual fan, sports fan in general, I don't know if he does. And I think it's a combination of the sport, but also him too. Like, he's not a rah-rah guy. You don't really see him out doing much as far as, big-time commercials all over the place and those things. He kind of just stays in his lane, goes about his business, dominates the sport, and that's really it. The guys that move the needle to me,
most golfers off the course aren't that way.
That's what I'm saying,
anyway.
right? And I agree with you. There's a few guys, right, that have that personality that they let show, and it's Bryson, it's Brooks, it's a couple other guys I'm sure you can mention as well. But outside of that Tiger era where he was dominating, there hasn't been a guy that moves the needle globally in households around the world the way Tiger does. And I just don't know if we're going to see that again.
Well, maybe we shouldn't. We're talking about maybe the most famous athlete ever in Tiger Woods.
Well,
so why would there be all of a sudden a second one of that? But
yeah,
when you talk about Tiger and Jack, they're just in a separate category of majors. This sport is judged by majors. Where I'm going with this is that inside the ropes, this guy is as much of a sure thing as we have found.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the highest floor. He never goes crazy south with his game.
Yeah.
And he finds a way. The putting a couple years ago was one thing that I thought was going to hold him back. Yeah. Seems to be much better there. But when John Rahm, this wasn't beating Alex Noren.
Correct.
This was that Rahm had tied you up in a major.
Yeah, one of the dudes
and
on
you
tour.
had to find another gear. Now, Rahm made a couple of mistakes, but he had to go for it a little bit, he felt. But I'm with you on that maybe we should be judging him, and this is how we judge golf in general. Maybe it's not the fist pumping and all that. But the way to judge him now is exactly the way he's dominating the sport. He is the guy to beat. He is the Scottie or the field guy.
Yeah.
We don't usually have those. And I know that I was tiptoeing into those waters on Friday. Mm-hmm. Give me Rory and Scheffler in this. You can have the field because I know that this guy's always going to be there. I don't know with Rory. He can be inconsistent, certainly. I thought maybe winning the Masters would ease him up to like the dam would break, and maybe it will at Augusta. But Scottie to be 29 before, or whatever he is, 29 before 30, and have now the PGA, and he's got 2 more venues coming up that he won last year, including the Memorial. And he finished top 3 at Colonial the last 3 years. So we're watching a guy, and I never thought this was going to be possible. I didn't think his game, while he was very long and he's very good, I didn't think he had this.
Yeah.
Now, he also benefits a little bit in the timing, Matty, of Live, and when that broke apart. Now, those guys are back playing these, but maybe they've lost their edge. But this is perfect timing. No prime Tiger. Brooks has kind of lost his edge. He used to be the guy to beat. Bryson certainly has been there. Rory's now, this could be a nice. We've seen Bryson, Rory, and Scottie. This could be the big 3. When you talk about the, big 3 in golf, We may have it
those
back
could be
again.
the guys.
Yep.
No doubt.
All right, we'll come back. Little Bet 365, see what we have lined up for tonight. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in nearly 90% of cases. Listen to what Alex has to say about our ED treatments.
I have been experiencing problems with ED, but that's all changed. My name's Alex, and I've been a patient for Tri-State Men's Health for under a year. I highly recommend this. Every day I wake up feeling good compared to I was back in the old days. Good change is more exciting. You know, I don't have a problem with ED anymore. I'm having a lot more fun. I was very comfortable. I was always comfortable in any conversation I had with Tri-State Men's Health. Yeah, I just want to let gentlemen out there know that you do not have to live with ED, that it is not just an aging process. It is also hormonal and balance and everything in your system. And once you get that under control and everything, you do go back to your youth a lot in how you feel.
Thanks, Alex. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes. This week's honoree is Natalie Lorenz from Delaware. Natalie is a fire dispatcher who coordinates resources during major incidents and provides instructions to callers before the fire department arrives, going above and beyond the call of duty. Her professionalism, compassion, and strength make her an invaluable asset to her workplace and community. Natalie is a true unsung hero who deserves to be recognized.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
Have you ever told a friend
Oh, I'm fine.
when you really felt
Just so overwhelmed.
or sent a text
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
when you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hope you didn't forget your sunglasses today. A mostly sunny day ahead with afternoon highs getting up into the low 70s. And then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows in the upper 40s. For Tuesday, rain returns to the forecast with a chance of thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Afternoon highs on Tuesday will be in the mid to upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time.
Yes, sir, brother, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Listen up closely. They got a great new sign-up offer just for you, where you bet $5 and you will get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. So download the Bet365 app today. I put Will Benson in Party Like a Rock Star earlier.
Yeah.
He's on fire right now. Give me a Willie B. Dinger in Pittsburgh tonight, plus 450. You can't stop him at the moment. So I'm chasing the Willie B. home run because he's got a nice home run streak going at the moment. So plus 450 is the juice on that AR Will Benson home run for the Cincinnati Reds against the Pirates tonight.
Already got my boy Bubich going for the Royals tonight at San Francisco. I do believe his over-under on K's is 5.5. It's funny, Matty. The over is the favorite.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The over is the underdog. Under 5.5 is minus 140. Over is 5.5 is plus 110. Don't I have to believe in my boy?
Of course you do.
All right, so give me the over.
There you go.
By the way,
real quick,
yeah.
Let me just go ahead and bring this home for you.
Please do.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Again, download that Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
So Rich tweeted me, and it's a great point. I looked at this last year, and you've talked about this. Like he says, to my point, with Scottie moving up to 4th on the all-time money list, last year his caddy would have been like 11th.
That's crazy.
All right, now
on tour earnings, like with the players?
Ahead of the players.
Yeah, okay. That's wild.
Yes. So the only person who may have had as good a year as Scottie is his caddy. Maybe Rory.
Yeah.
His take home last year was more than $5 million.
The caddy. $5 million. Attached to the guy. This is what happens.
He's believed to have earned. Well, he must have gotten a piece of the $25 million FedEx Cup final prize, I think, that's what may have boosted it.
Okay.
He's believed to have earned more than $2.5 million just on victories alone last year. And then I think he probably added another 2.5.
Gotcha.
At the PGA Tour Championship.
So it's definitely in play that this man will rack in double-digit millions of dollars by time.
And I'm not saying he doesn't have something to do with it, but he's certainly not the one swinging the club.
Correct.
That's amazing.
It really is.
Scheffler said, I just think the world of him as a person, so that is why I was attracted to him just being a potential good partner for me out on the course. Their partnership began in 21, and the two had come across one another after attending a Bible study together.
Okay.
Praying for big-time cash.
I'm sorry. I've just been so distracted.
Majoring in cash, minoring in.
You know what? I've been so distracted because across the glass, I don't know what's going on over there.
I looked over there.
I think he's drinking scissor on the job.
Not only that, he was measuring it out and then drinking the drips from the bottle. I know we don't have, quote, heavy machinery here for him to operate.
Doing?
Listen.
Missionary Jack, go ahead.
I spilled my orange Dayquil on my white shoes.
And you know what else I saw? And you know this bothered me.
Spilled orange Dayquil on his white shoes.
He was licking his fingers.
The nub licking.
Wait, listen.
Licking his fingers.
That was important.
Have you wiped down anything since you licked your fingers? The answer is no, because I've been watching.
I haven't touched anything. I don't think.
He's a mess.
Hey, you got to go tell Panama Ted, hey, you might need some Clorox wipes for the next shift here.
I'm all good over here, except for my shoes. I have a giant orange splotch on my white shoe.
That's what you get for drinking Dayquil on the job.
Well, look,
I recommend the DayQuil pills.
Here's what happened.
The gels.
All right, listen. I had 2 different brands, and I was running out of one, so I could only fill up half of what I was going to drink. So I had to fill up the other half of the thing with the other brand. And so I thought it would all blend together, but it's like oil and water, so it was 2 different consistencies. I thought something was in my thing, and so I had to I didn't know what it was.
There we go.
Fish.
He just brought down. Make that man wipe down that studio, Fish, because I watched him lick his fingers. And we can't set up Panama.
I'm not even sure that's correct. I don't think I did that. But I did spill because it looked like there was something in the drink because it was 2 different consistencies, and I thought it would all blend together smoothly. So then I'm fiddling around thinking I need to grab something out of it. I didn't know what was wrong with it.
Okay. Well, I hope you feel better, my guy.
And then I'm holding it right over my shoe.
And now you got orange.
Yeah.
On your shoes.
That's the worst part.
I mean, what are you wearing? Some kind of Puma suede?
No.
What's the problem? It doesn't wipe off?
I'm wearing some Dad New Balances, but
why won't it wipe off?
It's just the texture of the shoe.
Okay.
We'll have to eyeball this during the break.
This
he was
sucks.
measuring it out.
Yeah.
And like we were coming back from the break, and you and I were looking, and he's got different lotions and potions over there, and he's just kind of
drinking it out of the bottle. I'm a little worried about him over
Get
there.
you a straw.
Yeah.
A little bendy straw. You can just have for the show.
Man, I don't know what happened back here.
We started the show at noon, and you said that you were fine, that you were beating this virus, and you told it who was boss.
Yeah. I mean, enough to come to work.
Place hurt.
Absolutely. Why use a PTO day when you get paid to be sick?
Did you have audio that you're supposed to be playing in pre-snap reads now that you're done licking your fingers and touching the board?
Yeah.
What do you got here?
What is it?
Congratulations. The Titans are not playing in prime time.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. I mean, you know how this works. We've got probably a dozen schedules in front of the commissioner in that last week. Some of those had the Titans on Monday Night Football. Some of them had the Titans in the TBD pool for Saturday for the NFL Network. It wasn't a conscious effort going in maximum 0 Titans primes. It was more about a mixture of all the rest of what has to go into the soup. You don't draft your way into prime time. You play your way into prime time.
Man, I don't need what's going on here right now.
I love what this has turned into. Now we got Panama Ted in the studio with a mask on. I got your back, Panama Ted. I told him to wipe down everything.
And I did.
It's like a petri dish in there. Things are growing. Listen, you buying any of this?
No, I'm not buying it, AR, because here's what my theory is, and I want to run this by you. If Arch Manning gets drafted, or when he gets drafted high next year, I guarantee you that he's going to be in a primetime game next year. 100%. So I'm not buying the whole you don't draft your way into primetime games. Let's say it's the Browns next year and they find themselves picking number 1 overall and Arch is the guy. The Browns are going to have 1 or 2 primetime games. So that's why I'm not buying what he's telling us.
Of course, because we have the recent evidence they did with Caleb Williams.
There you go. So Mike,
he was in prime in week 2.
Yeah. So Mike North is the NFL VP of broadcast planning.
That's fine. I'd just be honest. We don't think they're going to be much of a team right now. If they start playing well, we'll flex them around. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can.
Okay.
Ward not playing in a primetime game in his rookie season would be a rarity, though.
It's odd.
It's odd.
The number 1 pick not getting 1 primetime games, it's a head scratcher.
They're telling us that they believe us, that this quarterback draft wasn't strong and not enough to move the needle, and he doesn't play on a team that they feel that confident in. And there's not a matchup that they feel that's
You're trying to tell
crazy
me
great right now.
Like, I don't know, one of those Texans games? You could sell that.
That's funny because I think Caleb got the Texan game.
Did he get
in week 2 last year on Sunday night?
Yeah. Like a divisional game.
We found the team that always plays against the rookie. Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
A lot going on in that segment. Glad we made it through.
We talked earlier in the day about Brock Purdy and is he worth it? Our friend Rob Stats Guerrero jumps on in 2 minutes from the coast to give us the real feel out there. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply. Available in app only.
Need cash for home projects, debt consolidation, or a big purchase? CME Federal Credit Union has your solution. With a CME HELOC, you can get a low intro rate of just 3.95% for the first 6 months, helping you save while you borrow. Plus, you can close in as fast as 10 days, so your plans don't have to wait. Need flexible funds fast? Visit CMEFCU.org to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony once got Jack Nicklaus to quote the movie Caddyshack, so he's got that going for him.
The last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook.
Which is nice. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Let's go while we're young.
All right, he's always there for us, our friend Rob Stats Guerrera, who's host of the Gold Standard 49ers pod, ESPN Radio as well, Pro Football Talk, an alum of that. And he's with us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Rob, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
All right, give me your biggest, well, let me ask it this way. What surprised you, if anything, about the contract for Purdy?
I'm surprised that it's done now, quite frankly. Look, this is not what the 49ers have done with their star players. Trent Williams went down to the wire. Nick Bosa went down to the wire. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Again and again and again, the Niners would get in their own way, and they wouldn't get done until the regular season was close to happening, and it would impact the team on the field. It would hurt the play. It would hurt the offense. This is the complete opposite of that. This deal is going to be signed this week. There will be no obstacles for OTA, preseason, or anything. For the first time in a long time for the 49ers, it's just about football.
Rob, I want to get your take, or actually your feel, from the 49er fan base and how they view Brock Purdy. Because I'm sure you see some of the takes out there from some of the national talking heads, or just people that don't watch the 49ers a ton and say, okay, well, it's the cast around Brock Purdy. That's the reason why he's so good. Like, the belief from the fan base in him. What's your feel on that?
I think most fans feel the way the 49ers told you they feel about Brock Purdy. A very good quarterback in the system, and a guy that, you know, isn't among the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes guys, but is also really, really good. You know, sometimes the loudest voices get heard the most, like, oh, Brock Purdy is amazing, or Brock Purdy is trash, but they don't represent the most number of people. I think most people think Brock Purdy is a fringe top 10 quarterback.
He's not Montana. He's not young. Why'd they give him a full no-trade clause?
Because it's an easy thing to give. It doesn't really cost the 49ers anything. Every quarterback essentially has a no-trade clause anyway, right? Let's say, for example, the Niners said after this year, you know what, we want to trade Brock Purdy. And there's rumors that we're going to trade him to the Minnesota Vikings, for example. If Brock Purdy's side leaks that Brock doesn't want to play for the Minnesota Vikings, guess what? They're not going to be able to trade him there because no team's going to acquire a quarterback that doesn't want to be there. So you essentially have a no-trade clause anyway. So it's an easy thing for the 49ers to give in exchange for possibly being able to get out of the contract after 2 years or 3 years or something like that. Now, we don't know those details yet, but it's an easy thing for the 49ers to offer, and it doesn't really change anything from their perspective.
So Deebo Samuel moves on. He is now out in Washington with Terry McLaurin and Jane Daniels. When you look at the weaponry now without Deebo, do you expect this offense to still run at a very efficient and high level the way we've seen it run when all these guys are healthy over the last couple of years?
Well, I don't know that it's going to get to, 2023 type levels because let's be honest, they were the first offense ever to have an all-pro at running back, an all-pro at tight end, and an all-pro at wide receiver at the same time. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be as good as 2023. It has to be better than it was last year. And by the way, it was still a top 10 offense last year, even with all those guys hurt. So I do think that they'll be better at the end of next year than they will be at the beginning because Brandon Ayuk will be back and he'll have more time to round into form. But I think they still have George Kittle. They're going to have a healthy Christian McCaffrey at least to start the year. I really believe in Ricky Pearsall, their first-round pick from last year. They still have Jawan Jennings as well. There's plenty left in the cupboard for this 49ers offense.
Our boy Stats Guerrero with us here on Rothman and Ice. So we had talked about this maybe when the Purdy debate was really at its height, which is would the 49ers be an organization that could kind of lean into a soft rebuild here? I mean, you got to have a quarterback. You got to feel like you can compete. They do. Were you ever in that camp of going the other way, that it felt like an old team that needed to do a massive rebuild?
Yeah, I mean, they clearly needed to make changes, and then they have done so this offseason. They're going to replace 8 starters on defense. I mean, that's just the reality. They are overhauling this thing on defense in a big way, and it absolutely needed to be done. Whether you want to call it a reboot, a rebuild, a remodel, whatever word you want to use, they had to turn over this roster. It was the oldest team in football last year. They needed to make changes. That's why they drafted 11 rookies, and most of them are going to be counted on to contribute in a big way this season. This had to be done. They were sort of running on fumes. They had gone as far as they could go with the current mix that they had. And you know how the NFL is, evolve or die.
So Nick Bosa, the former Buckeye, wins the Defensive Player of the Year award a couple years ago. You still seeing that same level of dominance from Nick?
Yes and no. And I don't mean to straddle the fence on that. What I will say is he is really, really, really damn good. But he can get a little better at finishing. He can get a little better at making the impact plays in the game when they need him. Game-changing type plays. Plays like you see T.J. Watt make, where they need a big play and he rushes and strips the quarterback and the ball's out and all of a sudden the game is over. Now, what I think is going to help Nick Bosa is he's finally going to have help on the defensive line. He was begging the 49ers last year, please get somebody else in here that can draw some attention, that could win a one-on-one matchup so that when I get double-teamed, the defense can actually still get pressure on a quarterback. I think you're going to see a much, much better Nick Bosa this year because you're going to see a much, much better 49ers defensive line.
Rob, do you believe in the bounce back as much as I think the league does? Because when we were going over schedule day, they don't have a lot of just matchups that jumped off the page to me, and they still got 5 primetime games. And 3 of those are going to come in the final 6 games. I guess they could be flexed if they're not bad. But it looks like to me, and I'll get your schedule takeaway, that the league does believe in a huge bounce back from 6 and 11.
That was exactly my takeaway when I saw the primetime games on the schedule as well. And frankly, why shouldn't they? This schedule is a cakewalk for the 49ers. They have 2 sort of what I would describe as challenging games outside of the division against Tampa Bay and Houston. The rest of their difficult games are all within the NFC West. Now, they still have to, play well, obviously, but the rest of the schedule is a cakewalk. And when you dig into the nuts and bolts of this thing, a lot of things go in the 49ers' favor. They don't play any teams coming off a bye. Last year, they played 4. That was the most in the NFL. They only have 2 short week road games. Last year, they had 3. And the biggest thing, they have a positive rest differential this year. They have 9 days more of rest than their opponents. Last year, they had 20 fewer days of rest than their opponents in the schedule. That was by far the most in the NFL. It was one of the most in the last 15 years in the history of the NFL schedule. So they have an easy schedule. They absolutely have no excuses. They should be in the playoffs in 2025.
So Robert Saleh, looks like he's back in the mix for the San Francisco 49ers. Did not work out well for him, with the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers, but bringing him back to the Bay, Kyle Shanahan very familiar with him. Your thoughts on what Robert Saleh can do with this defense this year?
It is a huge win for the 49ers to get Robert Saleh back. Kyle Shanahan basically said it when they fired Nick Sorensen. They said basically, we had guys get hurt, we had teams kind of figure out what we were doing, and we couldn't adjust. Nick Sorensen didn't have the experience to be able to do that. He had never been a defensive coordinator before in his coaching career. He was clearly over his skis with that job. Now Robert Saleh is back. He has years as a defensive coordinator. You add on the experience he has as a head coach, obviously. And like I mentioned, you got him better players. There's better players on this 49ers defense than there were in 2024. That's just the reality of it. So I think all of those things are going to combine to see a much better 49ers defense, especially, as I said, against this schedule where they're going to face, I think, 6 quarterbacks that are either rookies or in their second year.
Well done, my man. Always enjoy it. Be well. Thanks for checking in with us on short notice.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Rob Stats Guerrera. Gold Standard Pod. He's dead on right. Dead on. When I saw this schedule for them, I liked them before the schedule, and then the Purdy thing had to happen to make this go. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, here's the other deal. They should start their season 4-0. They have at Seattle, not an easy one. At New Orleans, home against Arizona, and home against Jacksonville.
Yeah, and you got a chance to really get after the division early as well, right? You mentioned Seattle, Arizona, and then week 5, they play the Rams. So you got a chance to make some noise in your own division early and create some of that momentum that you're talking about based off some of those opponents outside of the NFC West.
The Niners, on paper, have the easiest NFL schedule in 10 years.
They stay healthy, they're going to rack up a bunch of wins and maybe in the mix for that number 1 overall seed in the NFC, because I still believe in them.
Well, if you believed in them and then you add the schedule to it, then you have to. Yeah. We'll come back with Tell the Truth next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall from my friends at Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. 2 years ago, I was actually experiencing hip pain for the first time in my life, and I knew I needed the best. So I chose Orthopedic One for my physical therapy needs. And in a matter of weeks, I was rotating that golf swing better than before, and I was the longest hitter in my group again. So be like me and trust Orthopedic One. Several convenient locations around Central Ohio. To find a physician or location near you, go to www.orthopedic1.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Master Grillers Unite.
The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated.
Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here to let you know that Clayton Homes Sign and Save sales event is going on now. Clayton Homes is changing the way homes are built, making them affordable to buy and cost less to live in. And right now, you can save up to $5,000 instantly with the Sign and Save sales event. Every Clayton-built home uses quality products from the world's most trusted brands and comes equipped with Energy Smart features for year-round comfort and a lifetime of savings. Clayton Homes are designed with you in mind. Premium features that turn your house into your dream home. Get the luxury, quality, and style you want in a beautiful, affordable home with energy-efficient features to fit your budget. Check out their fully furnished new home models and see all the options available to create the perfect home. With many floor plans to choose from, Clayton Homes is certain they can help you find what you've been looking for. Visit the local Clayton Homes near you or browse their limited time deals at manufacturedhomeoffers.com to learn more. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com, available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax, and not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes,
that's you taking another sip of your Do the Dew.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Now buy 4 windows, get 4 free. Plus a free entry door with a house of windows. Visit windownation.com.
All right, loose cannon. What's going on over there?
All right.
Got all sorts of things brewing, man.
I know.
I admire you that you played hurt today. I feel like you got worse as the game went on, not better.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm like Aaron Gordon in the Nuggets.
It's like kind of my dime store analysis today.
Around the 2-minute mark in the second quarter was fine. By the end of the game, just go home.
Brutal.
All right, here we go.
Yep. You could have pulled a Baker and left at 1:30.
This story's unreal.
I like that. That's good. Do you care that Rory McIlroy blew off all 4 of his post-round media requests throughout the PGA Championship?
Did he give a reason? No, because he didn't talk to anyone.
You may recall at the Masters that he had quite the soundbite that we played on this show where he was basically reminding everybody, hey, we don't owe you guys anything, so appreciate it when we give you something.
It doesn't bother me personally. They're not obligated to do it, then you don't have to do it. I know, what was it, last year?
Wow, that sounded very eerily similar to this.
If things go south, things could go south.
Exactly. Like, that's what it's all about. Hey, or what was the major last year where he fizzled out?
US Open, I think.
And that, to me, I think is a bad look.
Wait, you mean where he missed the short little putt and Bryson won?
Because it looked like he was pouting a little bit. Like, if he didn't do it Thursday to Sunday, that's fine. Like, me personally, doesn't bother me whatsoever. If it was in a contract and you got to do it, then you do it. But because the PGA doesn't make him do it, I'm all good.
It's weird. I think it's easier for us to say, and I have said it before, that in defeat or whatever, that you should, when you're playing poorly, it's not that hard. I don't think the questions are going to be that hard. I don't think they're going to get too personal with him. It's going to stay on golf. And I think these guys could handle a couple of minutes and just say, this went bad, that went bad, I'm going to the range. Thanks for the time, guys. And most of the PGA Tour media will not rip him to shreds. They won't.
Bryson did it.
Did what?
He did a sit-down after his round yesterday. And the reporter specifically praised him to his face. Hey, you don't have to do this, so we really appreciate it.
Who said that? Amanda Balionis?
It's a woman, so probably.
Yeah, she does most of those, right, AR?
That's right.
Bryson finished what? Yesterday.
He went south a little bit. I don't remember. And he went south. He was going to go south. I don't remember where he finished. But
okay.
He was one of those guys people thought might make a run. Kind of held it together. He's -6 for a while.
And he moonwalked out of there a little bit. Kind of same thing happened to him at Augusta this year, didn't it?
I think so.
That last round, yeah.
Box office poison.
All right. This would have been a better question last week, but I thought about it like an hour after the show. Have you ever gotten with an ex?
Have you ever gotten with an ex? So you took him spinning the block?
I guess so.
So you're saying like both parties are single?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. Years ago. Yeah. You ever spun the block, AR?
I didn't know there was a phrase for it.
Yeah, that's what the kids call it, spinning the block.
What does that mean exactly?
It's going back to an old...
I'll just spin around the block.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take another lap around the block.
A little slow, but I got it. Yeah, I can't give you I can't remember anything too specific, but I would say countless times I've probably broken up and gone back.
That was more specific than I thought your answer was going to
be. There's a dude in the backfield that is, quote, the finisher.
Oh, my goodness. Jermaine to an...
What were you talking about?
I don't.
Play that again?
There you go.
There's a dude in the backfield that is, quote, the finisher.
I think he was talking about like a fullback or something.
I would hope.
It would be decapitating some dudes at the line of scrimmage. 3, 2.
Alrighty.
One more time.
There's a dude in the backfield that is, quote, the finisher.
Didn't need a trilogy.
That's good. Look out, quarterback. All right. Jermaine, to a topic discussed earlier in the show. What is the youngest age that a 26-year-old should date?
You have to answer this. You said
you've been 26
you're
before?
Gen Z boy. So we had Stacy that was listening that said that her daughter's 18 and thought that you sounded cute.
Because I called him Jack Harlow.
The word was hot, just to be clear.
Yeah, it was hot.
Okay, hot.
He's right.
I'm not. My bad. I'm not trying to.
And then I went out to cook up something, and Chef Mike over there, he's like, "Well, she's gonna have to wait a few years." And I said, "Why?" I go, "Come on, Belichick. She's 18." And then he rethought it, I think. So, yeah, Maddie's right. We're more interested in what you
have
think.
to answer this. What's your cutoff?
Probably 23.
23. Okay.
26. So you
22 is in play.
Listen,
okay, definitely 21. I'm not buying alcohol for anybody.
I hear that.
I don't think you should be supplying alcohol to a minor.
No.
Yes, glad you admitted that on the air, that you shouldn't do that.
Is a 20-year-old a minor?
For alcohol?
Well, for alcohol,
I don't know.
And I said I'm not interested in doing that, just to be clear.
Okay, so 22 is the official cutoff, just so we're clear? A college graduate?
He said 21,
There you go.
I think.
That's it right there. College graduate.
Well,
college graduate.
Why would you could have someone in their mid-20s never have graduated college?
But that's different because they might be in grad school. Like,
what if they just decided to not go to school anymore?
Well,
are they eliminated from the pool?
No.
Where's your diploma on the first date?
Show me your diploma.
Jeez.
Where's the tassel?
You guys are asking good questions that I haven't even considered.
Where's the robe?
There would have to be a discussion about that. If she didn't go to college, there would have to be a discussion about that.
Speaking of graduating, a quick shout out to my boy Brian. He graduated from Miami University this weekend.
Ooh,
brought that
nice.
There you go.
Shout out to him.
What if she's street smart?
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
it's okay if you want to just eliminate all non-college graduates from. But what if she went to trade school? What if she has
fair.
some sort of talent?
What if she does hair?
She's cultivate.
She's awesome at doing hair.
Maybe she works at a tanning salon.
That's fine. But that's interesting. Okay, well, I would consider that an adult.
What if she's a beautician?
Then
went
she
to
would
beauty school. It's any diploma. Maybe she has a beautician's license.
I don't care what your degree is necessarily.
You just have to have one, is what you're saying.
Basically, do you live on a college campus?
So if the answer is yes, then they're out.
Why? Because then they could be in grad school.
Dude, I can't. Well, again, the grad school thing's different. Dude, I can't be dorm storming.
Can't be
a good dorm storm. I'm not really sure that I've ever heard that phrase.
No, I like it though.
It's
Dorm
amazing.
storm.
I've heard of a court
that.
storming. But now you're talking about a dorm storming.
I'm too old for that.
Okay, we got some days and weeks to let this breathe. We'll find you something out there.
23 is the
23 is official
sounds
cutoff.
good.
Unofficial.
So they got to be in their Jordan year. I got it. Hey, if you missed anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Jason Stark joins the boys at 5:30 on Common Man and Timmy.
That is called turning the tables on the old missionary Jack.
Turning the block?
Well done. That's right.
Spinning the block.
All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow at high noon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around a golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-228-4544. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
Stories like this are really who we are. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. One of my son's coaches was having an issue with his transmission in his Honda. He had gotten quoted almost $9,000. He's like, can you help me out on the price on getting one through your Honda dealership? And I said, yeah. I said, but let's bring the vehicle in and let's make sure you, in fact, do need a transmission. We did a complete flush on his transmission and a software update on it, and that fixed his problem. And this guy has an extra $8,500 in his pocket because he reached out and I was able to connect him with my staff. We're going to take a step back and to make sure we're actually treating the core issue, not just the symptom.
This month at Lindsay Honda, choose a 2025 Honda Ridgeline RTL, Honda HR-V or CR-V, and pay just $299 a month at our famous Lindsay Honda Trade-A-Thon. We'll trade for anything and give you $1,000 more for your vehicle all month long. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness, Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
we can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for